Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is time for El Dorado Bronco baseball tonight on a beautiful Wednesday night from McDonald Stadium in Brad Long Field. Is tonight the El Dorado Broncos take on the Derby Twins. Kurt Caden along with Avery Osen, ready for 9 fun innings of baseball here tonight. Avery, we haven't seen the Broncos since Sunday, but they haven't played a game since we haven't seen them. And it was an off day Monday, and then as it's been for the first couple weeks for the Broncos, when they go on the road, the field was too wet to play, even though the weather was beautiful last night. Derby and Wellington played, but they couldn't play El Dorado at Newton last night, so it's been a couple days off for the Broncos.
Yeah, it has been. Much needed. I think the Broncos maybe needed that day off after getting swept 3 games against Hayes Friday and then a doubleheader on Sunday, and I think they look to be ready, have good infield practice before the start of this game, and they look to be focused for the Derby Twins tonight.
We did get some bad news talking to Gary. Clayton Dalrymple has an injured finger, and he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks for El Dorado. But, you know, as it is, you're getting these college kids in. It's next man up, and we'll see Michael Muka for the first time tonight. We've seen Dylan. We'll see Michael tonight. But that's a big loss. Clayton, a fine outfielder, and just a real terror on the base pass, and I think El Dorado will miss his presence near the top of the lineup.
Absolutely. They're going to miss him a lot. He, like you said, on the base paths, he really could get in the pitcher's mind, and he made stealing bases look very easy.
But again, you know, it just seems like anymore these days so many guys like to slide head first, and those fingers and fingertips are really at risk, and we've seen Sam Lane, Morgan Oliver, and Clayton Dalrymple all go down with injuries. Unfortunately for Clayton, his seems to be a little more serious than Lane and Oliver, because those two have returned and played since their injuries. The game tonight, Avery, with Derby, of course, they'll play each other 8 times this year. You feel good about beating this team 22-8 last week, but none of that matters. Baseball's a great game. You start off again 0-0 here today. There's a new pitcher for El Dorado, a pitcher pitching tonight for El Dorado that didn't pitch last week, different pitcher for Derby, so you never know. But the Broncos, I'm sure, come in with a little bit of confidence at least.
Yeah, and right now we're going to turn down our mics for the national anthem, and then we will be back for your starting lineups.
And tonight's national anthem, again, we are not allowed to play anything copyrighted as we do these, so that's why we have to turn down our mics. So as we just before the anthem there, we were just talking about the Broncos coming in with some confidence here tonight, and they're going to bring Greg Hauser. It'll be interesting to see how Greg comes out. He didn't have too bad of a night the last time we saw him out there.
Yeah, and hopefully he can come out and And like you said, the Broncos scoring 22 runs the last time they played the Derby Twins, and you can't, obviously in baseball, you can't expect that. You just come in and hopefully Hauser can set these Twins down.
Hauser pitched here Sunday night and had a relatively clean night at it. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Let's get the lineups for you. First batting for Derby. They'll lead off with Chase Rader at third base. Jared Flax back second and plays right field. Tyler Eager, center fielder, bats third. Dylan Dillard in left field batting fourth. Tanner Kirk at shortstop bats fifth. Colin Neville, the first baseman, bats sixth. Austin Orth, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Tori Bell will catch. She bats eighth. And Ty Reddington playing second base bats ninth. And Bradley Bailey will be on the hill for the Twins.
For the El Dorado Broncos, his first start in left field this year, Jacob Spring. In center field, Sam Lane. Right field is Michael Muka. And at third base tonight is Max Hogan. The shortstop, Morgan Oliver. Second base, Levi Parker. First base, Brandon Cuddy. Catching the ball tonight is Jonathan Schmitz. And as Kurt just mentioned, he will be catching the ball from Greg Hauser, the starting pitcher for the Broncos tonight.
Hauser here on Sunday night against Hayes in the second game of that doubleheader. Gave up a couple of singles, one gave up a run, had a strikeout as well in his one inning pitched in relief on Sunday, and he gets a start here tonight. Broncos and Twins, and we are ready to go. Greg Hauser, the lefty, with the first pitch, and it's outside. Our first pitch time, 7:01, and the temperature, 85 degrees. Shadows over the home plate, which always makes it a little difficult on the batter to start off with these 7 o'clock starts. 2 balls and no strikes to Chase Rader. And the 2-0 is in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Hauser, a quick worker. Back to the hill, and the wind and the pitch is fouled off, and it evens the count at 2-2. Rader, Flax, and Eager to lead it off here for Derby. Back to 9-inning games. Sunday, 2 7-inning games that did not go the Broncos' way, losing a pair to a very good Hayes team. Hauser, 2-2. He's been working the outside, comes inside on Rader, and missed it, and it brings up a full count. So a full count here to Chase Rader, and the pitch is popped behind second base, and it's Muka right away getting a chance, and he makes the first catch for 1 out. That'll bring up Jared Flax. Flax, a shortstop, second baseman, 6 foot, 170 pounds, from Fort Collins, Colorado, plays his ball at Newman University. Hauser's pitch in there, and it's a strike, and Hauser jumps ahead of Flax. Flax batted 9th last Wednesday, and he pokes one out to right field. Not a good read by Muka. He'll play it on one hop and goes the safe route there, and a single for Jared Flax.
You know, smart play there by Muka. You don't want to take a risk too early in this game, and he just plays it safe, and instead of maybe that ball getting past him and having second or third with 1 out, just a harmless single there from Jared Flax.
Tyler Eager, left-handed batter, center fielder, bats third and looks at ball 1. Eager last Wednesday night against El Dorado went 0 for 2. He was walked 3 times, and he scored twice in that 22-8 win for El Dorado. And Hauser will throw over and check on Flax. Dylan Dillard, he homered last week against the Broncos. So did Colin Neville. Dillard is in the on-deck circle. Hauser's pitch is fouled straight back. Beautiful sunshine, some youth baseball being played out past the outfield. You probably can't see that on the video that we've provided here, but trust me, the youth are out there, and it is a great night for baseball here in El Dorado. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greg Hauser goes back over to first base, checking on Flax. Hauser from Omaha plays his ball right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College, 6'6", 225. Hauser's pitch, Flax goes, and it's fouled off. Hogan gives it a look, but it is out of play. We see Hogan at third base tonight. Avery, Trevor Rizal. I think the first game that we've seen him, actually, it's the first game he's not been in the starting lineup for the Broncos.
Max Hogan, I believe, was at second base on Sunday night.
Yep, and we've seen him at DH as well. Hauser back over to check on Flax. Flax, I think, feels like he's got a pretty good read on Hauser's move. He'll step off the base. Tyler Eager in a 1-2 hole. Hauser back over to first. And again, Flax back. El Dorado sporting the black jerseys tonight with the white pants. Derby in the yellow vests and maroon undershirts, lined over to Parker. He catches it back over to first. Double play. Levi Parker. And what a nice stab over there by Brandon Cuddy. So a line drive double play. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. After the top half of the first inning, it's Derby 0 and El Dorado coming to bat. Welcome back to beautiful El Dorado, Kansas. The Broncos and the Twins meeting up for the second time this season. They'll do it 6 more times as well. And these teams that are so regionally close, they play during the week, and then the weekend series, you see the Eastern Kansas teams going over or playing the Western Kansas teams. It's a pretty nice schedule the way it works out. Let's run down the batting order for your El Dorado Broncos. Sam Lane will lead off playing center field. Levi Parker at second base, bats second. Brandon Cuddy, first baseman, will bat third. Jonathan Schmitz bats fourth and catches. Max Hogan, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Zach Fields, his first game in a Bronco uniform, the designated hitter tonight. Jacob Spring bats seventh, and he's playing left field. Michael Muka will bat eighth in right field, and Morgan Oliver at shortstop will bat ninth. Greg Hauser again pitching for El Dorado.
For the Derby Twins, starting in outfield, we'll start in left field, Dylan Dillard. Center field, Tyler Eager. Right field, Jared Flask. At third base, Chase Rader. Shortstop is Tanner Kirk. Second base, Ty Reddington. And at first base, Colin Neville. Be catching the ball tonight is Torrey Bell. And on the hill, Bradley Bailey.
So Bailey, a lefty, he'll wind and deal to Sam Lane, and the first pitch is outside, ball one. Bailey, a 6'1", 185-pound lefty out of Haleyville, Alabama, plays his college ball at North Alabama. So here he is in Southern Kansas playing in the Jayhawk League, and Sam Lane will dump one out to right field, and a diving catch made by Jared Flax. Looking into the sun, he went for it, Avery, and he made a nice catch.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Michael Muka maybe could have had a chance to do in the first inning. He didn't take the risk and ended up paying off for the Broncos by getting a double play. But there, Flax takes a risk, and the reward is huge.
Yeah, if he doesn't catch that, it's an easy triple for Lane. High risk, high reward, and the reward was well paid off there for Flax. First pitch to Levi Parker is in there for a strike. Levi Parker, playing second base, started the double play to end the top half of the first inning. And Parker from El Dorado plays his college ball a little north and east of here in Emporia. He squared the bunt, and that pitch rode up and in. A little chin music there for Parker. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty on lefty battle here. And the look on the inside corner. Parker with a drag bunt. That's a beauty. Who's going to get it? Nobody. It's an infield single for Levi Parker. Really well done, Avery. He put it between the pitcher and the first baseman. And you've got to have some quick thinking there if you're the pitcher or the first baseman, and the communication just wasn't there.
Well, that's where some of these summer teams here early in the season fail, is the communication factor on the ball field. And right there, Bradley Bailey didn't know whether to go cover first or go grab the ball, and by that time it was too late as Levi Parker was sprinting down the line.
And that bunt, he pushed it past almost towards second, so that once it got past the pitcher, he was really in an awkward spot. So Bailey had no chance, and it's an infield single for Levi Parker. He's got a nice lead off of first. Brandon Cuddy at the plate will look at strike one. Cuddy, it was this Derby team that saw Cuddy in his debut last Wednesday night, and all he did was go 5 for 6 with a home run, 2 doubles, and 2 singles. It was a pretty good debut.
Don't think the Twins don't know that either.
Here Cuddy is batting third, and there's a slider that's off the plate, ball 1. Derby comes in, of course, after that game last week. It was the Jayhawk League opener. We weren't sure, what would happen with these two teams. Well, they really went different directions because El Dorado lost 3 games to a very good Hayes squad. Derby went on the road and knocked off Liberal 3 times. Cuddy past the third baseman. Raider into left field for a single. So 2 on and 1 out for Jonathan Schmitz.
And Kurt, I don't know if our viewers can see this through the webcam or not, but there are cones. Yes, cones in left center field. And I believe I overheard them saying if it lands within those cones out there, they're in a triangle, then it is an automatic double, almost like a ground rule double.
A lot of rain here on Sunday night or Monday. Was it Monday night even? I can't remember what day was all that rain, but Doug Bell and all the folks here really worked long hours trying to get the field playable out in the outfield. Of course, the infield's turf, but just kind of a nightmarish area there where all the water looks like it just kind of gathered. Schmitz, the right-handed batter, looks in at an off-speed pitch for strike 1. So yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know if a ball even rolls into there, Avery, if that would be a double, because they're saying the footing is just so bad in that triangle area that they don't want anyone to roll an ankle or worse. So that is kind of the unplayable area here today. There's still more rain in the forecast after tonight, but the Broncos don't have another home game till next Thursday, so hopefully there'll be some time to get that dried out there, but I don't know if they're going to have much of a chance. It seems like every couple of days we got more rain coming. No balls and a strike to Schmitz. There's a fastball riding high and away, ball 1.
Well, my only question is the outfielder, I'm guessing there's something like maybe a line that shows that they're about to go into that area or something. But if they do, can they still catch the ball, or is that play at your own risk? Or
I guess we may find out at some point tonight. I don't know. Schmitz, again, a long time by Bailey on the mound looking in, and of course checking Parker at second and Cuddy over at first. Timeout from Jonathan Schmitz. Schmitz comes into the game batting .375 for El Dorado. And here comes the pitch, and that is just on the corner. Strike 2. Nice pitch there from Bailey. Bradley Bailey from North Alabama. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cuddy not being held on at first, and over at second base we see Ty Reddington paying a lot of attention to Levi Parker. There's a nice hole between first and second. If Schmitz could poke one through there, in the outfield there's a out in center field. The center fielder is shading the left field side of center field. So there's a huge gap over second. That pitch jams Schmitz, fielded at shortstop by Kirk. They get 1. They won't get 2. Schmitz beat it out. Runners at first and third. Just hit too slowly for Kirk and Reddington to turn the double play, but they did get 1 out in the middle. So a fielder's choice. And Max Hogan will come up. 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Derby 0, El Dorado 0. Bailey looks over at Schmitz and delivers a pitch right in there for strike 1. Hogan bats from the left side, and he is from Belton, Texas. Bailey is set. Look over at Schmitz and the pitch, and another fastball in there for strike. I don't think Hogan was expecting 2 straight fastballs right down the pike, but that's what he got. Nice to have you tuned in on YouTube here tonight. Great to have you watching and listening to Bronco baseball. And if you're a Twin fan or a Bronco fan, we'd love to hear from you. So feel free to drop us a comment right there on the YouTube window that you're looking at. It says comments right below there. You can just type in whatever you want. We'll see it. Or you can send us an email at cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Max Hogan. Zach Fields would be next. And Fields looks like quite the specimen in the on-deck circle. 6'5", 265 is Zach Fields from Central Michigan University. We'll see him for the first time if Hogan can get on. Looks like one of those guys that could drive in a lot of runs. Hogan, lefty on lefty with Bailey. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away. And the pitch, and Hogan got under that one just a bit. Flax came in, now ranges towards the center field side of right field and makes the catch to retire the side. For the Broncos in the bottom of the first inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2. We're through 1 from McDonald Stadium. Our score, El Dorado 0 and Derby 0. More play-by-play in a moment as you watch and listen to Bronco baseball here on YouTube. Broncos and Twins doing battle here in El Dorado on a beautiful Wednesday night. Same 2 teams next Wednesday night, only in Derby. And Derby will send to the plate Dylan Dillard, Tanner Kirk, and Colin Neville. For the Broncos, after tonight, no game tomorrow. They'll travel to Liberal for 3 over the weekend. Off to Wellington on Tuesday and to Derby Wednesday. A week from tomorrow is our next broadcast when the Broncos begin a nice 4, 5, 6 game homestand. It'll start with Wellington on Thursday, June 19th. It concludes with Wellington on June 25th. Throw in a 3-game series with Dodge City over the weekend and Boulder in here on June 24th. And then the Broncs go back on the road, and they'll go to Hayes, who we just saw here this past weekend. Ground ball out to short and fielded by Oliver over to Cuddy, and they'll retire Dylan Dillard for the first out of the inning. So Tanner Kirk will come to the plate and give Greg Hauser a shot here. Tanner Kirk is an infielder who's from Lincoln, Nebraska, plays his college ball at Wichita State. Kirk, a righty. Greg Hauser, big left-handed pitcher, deals a strike. First pitch to Kirk. Colin Neville will be next for the Twins. No balls and a strike. Hauser, a quick worker. Here's a hit right past Hauser into center field. And it's a single for Tanner Kirk. Solidly struck ball there by Kirk. Hauser nearly got his glove on that one, but had a lot of steam as it breezed past big old Greg Hauser. So here comes Colin Neville to the plate. Neville from Goddard, Kansas, plays his college ball at Central Missouri. 6'4", 210, good size, good power, left-handed stick. And he looks at strike 1, lefty on lefty here. We've seen a lot of left-handed bats and 2 left-handed pitchers tonight, Avery.
Yeah, we have. And Colin Neville, last time these 2 teams matched up, had a home run and 2 runs scored and went 2 for 5 on the night.
And if I remember, that home run was a no-doubter from Neville.
Seen a lot of those this year.
Mm-hmm. Hauser, another throw over to first base, keeping Tanner Kirk close. The Broncos ended the top half of the first inning with a Tyler Eager line drive to Levi Parker, who winged it over to Cuddy, and they got a double play. Nice one pitch there for strike two. So ahead is Greg Hauser. And now Neville will have to go a little more defensive here as he's way down in the count. No over at Kirk, and the pitch, a curveball popped right behind us here. So it remains 0-2. Hayes right now leading the Jayhawk League. They are 5-0. Wellington is 4-0. Wellington defeated Derby last night, 6-5. Here is a check swing and the appeal, and they say no swing. I think a good call. Heartbreaking loss for Derby. As I read the recap, they had runner on first base, and Neville actually was at the plate, drilled one to deep right field, and some folks figured it was going to sail over the wall. It did not. It was caught at the wall, and the runner at first had figured it was going to be off the wall at least. Well, he started running, and when the ball was caught in right field, it was an easy double play to end the game, and Derby lost 6-5. Hauser at 2-2, and this one goes through the glove of Schmitz. It'll be a pass ball, and advancing to second base is Tanner Kirk, and that takes out any double play possibilities here for El Dorado. Hayes and Wellington undefeated. Derby is 3-2. Liberal 1-3. El Dorado's 1-3, and Dodge City right now is 0-6. Hauser on the hill, and the pitch is chopped. Hauser's going to try to run it down. Takes a good hop. He'll underhand it over to Cuddy, and they'll get the out at first base. And we've seen a lot of balls, on that AstroTurf infield, Avery, those high choppers. They have a lot of spin or whatnot on there. Wasn't sure which way that was going to bounce, and Hauser seemed very wary of that as he very carefully fielded that thing and then got it over to Cuddy.
Yeah, he did a good job playing that ball, and as you said, we've seen some weird turns, some weird spins on this turf, and so Hauser did the good thing, got it in his glove, kept his composure, and tossed it over to first.
So now 2 away. Advancing to third was Tanner Kirk. That would not have been a double play ball had Kirk not advanced to second, but he is a third, so you got to be aware of a pass ball here. Hauser does like to work low in the strike zone. Austin Orth, the designated hitter, at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count, and he'll look at strike one. Orth is a catcher for this squad from Fort Collins, Colorado. 6'2", 220. Austin Orth. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, and a little bit behind was Orth on the fastball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Hauser trying to keep this game scoreless. El Dorado 0, Derby 0. We're in the top of the second inning. 2 outs for the Derby Twins. Man on third, and the pitch. Orth pounds one to center field. Sam Lane going back and made a diving catch. Sam Lane, what a play. Those are the kind, Avery, you see on Sports Center as he was going back and elevated. His momentum took him towards the warning track, and he made a tremendous catch.
And that's awesome. That's a great play there from Sam Lane, and as you said, kind of turned his head and just sprawled out and made a great diving catch. And looked like he kind of landed on his right side and came back up, and he's fired up. He's ready.
And I love how the guys out of the dugout came out to greet Sam. A run-saving catch by Sam Lane. So in the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 1.5. Derby 0, El Dorado 0. More Bronco baseball here in just a moment. Derby and El Dorado are scoreless through 1.5, and Avery, the 0 that El Dorado put on the board in the bottom of the first inning was only the second 0 they put up against Derby. You remember last week they scored in every inning except for the bottom of the 8th inning, so it was
just two consecutive innings.
Yeah, how about that? And our first look on the season at big old Zach Fields. And Dave, every team in this league, you know, they're getting some good college talent, and they're excited about the guys they bring in. But, boy, I think you bring in a guy like this, Zach Fields, and you know Coach Gerwick and everyone, Doug Bell, the general manager, has to be excited about what this guy can do.
And how about putting him in your 6 hole? If you have to put him in your 6 hole, you know your lineup's doing very well. He looks like he could come in and make a impact right away.
He's way out in front of the off-speed pitch, fouls it back. Big build on this Zach Fields. Got the beard. I do like the high socks, or the socks pulled up with the uniform right at the knees there. That's a little old school. No balls and 2 strikes to Zach Fields, his first at-bat of the season for the Broncos. Bailey will wind and deal the pitch, and Fields drills it deep left center field. Gone! Zach Fields on an 0-2 pitch drills a curveball into the left center field outfield there, Avery, over the fence, and he hit it over the ground rule double area there. That was a great shot by Fields.
1 at-bat and 1 home run. What a way to start off his season here at the El Dorado Broncos. Welcome aboard.
Oh, yeah. Have you not met me? My name is Zach Fields as he goes through the line. Here comes Jacob Spring. What is it, Avery, with the guys and their debuts here at McDonald Stadium? We've seen some good ones. Cuddy a week ago. I think Max Hogan's first pitch he saw in his first game was a line drive to center field.
I think the second game was Schmidt's 3-run home run.
Three
home run game, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start bringing them in during NBC time.
2 balls and no strikes as Bailey looks maybe a little bit rattled after that long bomb by Fields. 1-0 El Dorado. And Bailey's pitch is going to sail outside, ball 3. And the shame of it for Derby and their pitcher Bailey there, Avery, he was ahead 0-2. He had a lot of pitches he could have wasted on field to try to get him fish at something, but curveball did not dive down like I think he wanted. Kind of hung there, and Fields pounded it. 3 balls and no strikes, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Jacob Spring playing left field tonight. Normally we see him in right field, but Clayton Dalrymple is out for 6 to 8 weeks, we hear. The 3-1 pitch, and Spring had a good whack at it, fouls it into the parking lot. So a good job by Bailey to work the count back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. No outs, bottom of the second inning. Broncos on the rail, 1-0. Spring, Muka, and Oliver. The next 3 here for the Broncos, and Spring will foul this one back out of play. A lot of foul balls out of play here in the first inning and a half. Bailey getting tested here in the bottom of the second inning. And the 3-2 pitch is on its way, and a good emergency hack there, fouled off by Spring. The Broncos got a couple of singles in the first inning. But with 2 outs, Max Hogan just got under it as he put a pretty good swing on it, but it was fielded out in right field by Jared Flax, who had a couple of catches in the first inning. 3-2 pitch, and just outside. And Jacob Spring works a walk.
Good at bat there from Jacob Spring. Got up 3-0, and then Bailey evened it back up at 3-2. A couple foul balls later, and then Spring, a good eye, ball 4. We have a guy on first, no out.
Yeah, after fighting off some good pitches there from Bailey. He did a good job getting back into that count. And now here's another debut. It's Michael Muka. And a throw over and check on Spring, who's back safely. Michael Muka from Aurora, Colorado. 6'2", 170, plays his ball at Wichita State. Off of first base is Spring with a good lead. And coming home is Bailey, and that pitch is low. Muka bats lefty. Outfield playing him straight up. Infield pretty much straight away as well. 1 ball and no strikes to Muka, and the pitch tapped towards first base. It'll be fielded, no chance at second, and Bailey just did get over in time to tap Muka out as he took the toss from the first baseman, Colin Neville. So that's the first out of the inning. And Morgan Oliver to the plate. And Morgan Oliver, well, he's no stranger to Zach Fields. They both play at Central Michigan. Morgan, 6'2", 187. He's originally from California. Plays his college ball at Central Michigan, playing his summer ball here in El Dorado. There's a guy, Avery, that's lived out west. He goes to college up north, and now kind of the southern Midwest area, getting to experience that. He's going to be pretty well-rounded. He'll have a good idea where he wants to live when he's done with college.
Yeah, getting a little taste of everywhere here in the United States.
Oliver looked at strike one. Bailey looks at second. Now the pitch. He'll go inside, just off the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sam Lane would be next. Lane made just a tremendous diving catch. If you just tuned in when this game gets archived, go back to the top of the second inning and see. I hope the video was able to catch that. It may have been a little bright, but just a marvelous catch by Sam Lane out in center field. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Morgan Oliver. Bailey's pitch is bounced in there. Nice stop there by Torrey Bell. And it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. A 1-0 lead down at second base is Jacob Spring with 1 away. And the pitch, and Oliver just a little behind and got under that one. Neville comes all the way towards second to field that pop out. So 2 away, and that'll turn the order over to Sam Lane. Lane led off the game with a ball over that I thought was going to drop, but a nice catch by Jared Flax out in right field. Unfortunately for him, his great catch was really overshadowed by the dynamic catch by Sam Lane at the top half of this inning.
Yeah, and Sam Lane would have been on and eventually probably would have scored after a couple base hits after him. Ball.
Lane drills one foul down the right field line. No balls and a strike. Zach Fields led off this bottom of the second inning with a no doubt home run over the left center field fence. Probably hit it about 3. Then Jacob Spring walked, advanced to second on a Michael Muka ground out. Morgan Oliver popped out to Neville, and now 2 away for Sam Lane with Spring down at second. Bradley Bailey. Last week, Derby had to use 6 pitchers. Of course, El Dorado used 5. That kind of goes... It was a little more by their own doing, though, as they were getting a lot of work in. Here's a ground ball to short. Lane running hard, and the ball is past Neville. And that will allow Jacob Spring to score, and Sam Lane will advance to second, probably a throwing error.
Second baseman, number 2, Levi Parker.
Got to be an error there, don't you think, Avery?
Yeah, I would think so. I think a good throw would have got Lane, but since Sam was hustling down that line, that really sped up the throw from Kirk. But I would probably say an error on Tanner Kirk there.
So Sam Lane will get to second. No RBI given there. But he doesn't mind. He'll take it. And the Broncos now lead 2-0. And Levi Parker, who had a bunt single in the first inning, advanced all the way to the third base before The side was retired. Parker shows bunt. One ball and no strikes. Down at second is the speedy Sam Lane. Bailey, a long look at Lane, and now the pitch to Parker is going to sail outside. Ball, oh, check that. They called it a strike. Ball one, strike one. That looked fairly generous on the outside corner. So a ball and a strike. The outfield shading Parker to go opposite way, which is what he does a lot. And here's a pitch inside, ball two. George Hogan with a message, Avery. It sounds like he's going to be in town next week for the homestand, maybe.
Looks like it. Look forward to it. If you get a chance, come on up here. I'd like to meet you, and thanks for watching tonight.
Parker towards third, just foul. Yeah, we'd love to. It's always nice when you put a face and a name together. Of course, Avery and I have prior plans. We'll be here Thursday and Friday, but we'll be gone Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be back for the Tuesday and Wednesday games. But we will have the games, I think, covered on Saturday and Sunday. It'll just be a different voice. Adam Borth will be filling in for us. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Levi Parker. Lane down at second base. 2 runs already in here for El Dorado. Parker takes it inside, and it's 3-2. And if you're Bradley Bailey, this is the guy you want, because Brandon Cuddy and Jonathan Schmitz are the next 2 sticks for the Broncos. And Cuddy has really owned Derby pitching. He is 6 for 7 against Derby so far this year. Here's the 3-2 to Parker, and hit towards second base. It'll be fielded by Reddington, and the side is retired. But the Broncos jump in front. Zach Fields led off the inning with a home run. 2 runs in all score for El Dorado. They did it on just 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. We're through 2 innings. El Dorado 2, Derby 0. You're listening and watching to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back to McDonald Stadium, and a much different game this week than it was last week. Last week, as we entered the 3rd inning, it was already 7-1 Broncos. Tonight, 2-0 Broncos as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, and I'll hand it over to my partner, Avery Osen.
And to think 7-1 wasn't very much in that game.
That was just a small sampling.
First pitch from Hauser is in there for strike 1 to Torrey Bell, the catcher for the Derby Twins. This is his first at-bat of the game, and he'll be followed by Ty Reddington and then Chase Rader. Next pitch from Hauser in there. Good pitch on the outside corner. Jumps ahead of Torrey Bell right away, 0-2. Broncos hold a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd. Next pitch from Hauser, he goes outside. And it's a little too far outside, ball 1. Next pitch from Hauser in there, but Torrey Bell will foul it off almost into the Twins bullpen. And it'll keep the count at 1-2. Next pitch from Greg upstairs, ball 2. That'll even up the count, 2-2.
Avery, we saw the wind on Friday and Sunday. It seemed to be blowing in from right field. Tonight, more across from right field towards left field.
On down the left field line. And luckily for the Broncos, that'll hook foul.
Well over the fence, Avery.
That
A
was
long strike.
Very long strike. Probably one of the longest strikes we'll see all year. As Kurt mentioned earlier, the shadow still in the batter's box with the pitcher in the sunlight. Next pitch from Hauser. Little high. Good job there by Jonathan Schmitz to pull the glove in a little bit longer and hold the ball and see if the umpire would give there, and he doesn't. Full count 3-2. Next pitch fouled off.
You saw exactly what I saw. Schmitz did a great job framing there, and he had me convinced. I think I might have called strike 3.
Good play there by Jonathan Schmitz. I love to see those catchers, and you kind of see their glove move in, and you always see them hold it just a hair or two longer just to see if maybe that umpire will give him the strike. 3-2 pitch. Low, and he loses the battle with Torrey Bell. Leadoff walk for the Twins. I'll bring up Ty Reddington. Plays second base in the bottom half of the innings. Broncos did a good job against Reddington last time around. Struck him out twice, and he went 0 for 2 as he fouls a ball behind him. 0-1.
That fouled bunt, Avery, went up and over the stadium. So we've had a home run foul and a bunt foul, both out of the stadium.
He'll try to bunt again as Schmitz throws one down to first. Not in time to get Reddington. Couldn't catch. Umpire called that a ball there as Reddington pulled the bat back. 1-1. We'll see if Reddington tries to bunt Bell over. He'll try it again. He gets a good bunt back to Hauser at the pitcher's mound, and he'll throw it past Cuddy at first, and Reddington gets to second. The Twins are working here in the bottom of the third, second and third, no out, and the throwing error will be called there against Greg Hauser.
He had time, Avery. He really picked that up. The lefty, he swung his body around, and he really missed Cuddy. In fact, the throw was so wild. Parker was in the perfect spot to back up, but Parker then couldn't handle it because it short-hopped him, and he was out into the outfield. Ended up out to Jacob Spring, and a walk and an error to start off the second. That generally leads to a lot of stress, and Greg Hauser will see what he can do as the order turns over for the Twins.
And Chase Rader, who flied out to Michael Muka and right. First thing to start off this game. First pitch in there. Good pitch there from Greg Hauser. 0-1. Jared Flax on the on-deck circle. 0-1 pitch. Swung on to Oliver at second, and he drops it. That'll score a run. Sam Lane gets it into Parker at second. And so, the old cliche is make sure you hit the ball. Don't make sure you make the defense work. And there, Rader hit it hard at Oliver, and it looked like he tried to squeeze his glove before the ball had totally got to him, and it went right past him. And the Twins, first and third, no out, and this score is 2-1.
I think Oliver there, it was an easy play, and he'll tell you that. It was hit right to him, but he was peeking over at second base to see if the runner, Bell, had drifted off there. He was going to do a quick catch and throw. Well, he didn't make the catch, and so he didn't make the throw. And a walk and 2 errors, and Derby has scored a run without even a hit here in this third inning.
And Chase Rader there seemed like he was hitting with a lot of confidence there. And then first pitch to Jared Flax, and he smokes one down the left field line. As a steal, a second, he'll be there, and then Ty Reddington steals home, and he gets home. So as good as a base hit there. as Chase Rader initiated the pressure on Jonathan Schmitz. He threw one down to second. It wasn't in time to get him, and Reddington decided he would take home, and he got there, and we're all squared up at 2. As Flax tried to bunt, but it's going to go foul.
Avery, that double steal there, it didn't look like the Broncos were committed one way or the other. Usually you'll see maybe a catcher fire it down to the shortstop who might be cutting in front of the base, trying to get that runner. But the throw kind of short of second. They just were in between both plays and didn't have a chance at either runner, and successful double steal for Derby to tie this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Schmitz, I think he wanted to keep it, but he saw the runner going, and so that convinced him to throw it down to second. But as Parker got it, he had not a whole lot of time to get Reddington. Pitch are low, 1-2.
Well, there's the demise here, Avery. A sacrifice bunt should be a routine out, and a line drive right to one of your sure-handed guys at shortstop. So just some unfortunate things happening for the Broncos here in this third.
1-2 pitch. Inside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Hauser. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off down the right field line. Almost catches a moving car in the parking lot. And 2-2, it'll stay.
I thought that might have windshield, though it was just kind of a low foul ball tailing out to the parking lot.
That's where everybody in the stands looks over there and holds their breath.
Did I park over there?
2-2 pitch. Swung on. Play at first is safe as a good play there from Jared Flask. He's ran down all the way to first base, and Max Hogan. I was about to say Trevor Rozelle, and I knew that wasn't right. Max Hogan at third. Although that'll be a infield single, I think Max Hogan would probably say again he should have probably made that play. Didn't really know Morgan Oliver, the shortstop, was also coming up, and one of those communication errors here is Hogan stepped in front and got it, but not in time to get Flax at first.
And that's what, you're taught as a third baseman. Anything you can get, you're supposed to get, and he was the right man for that play, but he needed to get it and really quick release it. He took just a half step, and Flax was really hustling. Again, it was a high chopper, so Hogan didn't have a lot of time. And it was interesting. I was watching the umpire. He came flying across like he was ready to give him the out, and he changed. And went to the safe. I thought he was safe, but I just thought the way the umpire started, it looked like he was ready to call him out.
That's what I saw too. I saw the umpire looked like he was about to call him out there, but first and third still not an out. As a high pop fly, Tyler Eager to right field, and it keeps carrying, and it hits off. Looks like it bounced off the wall almost to the warning track. 2 runs will score. A stand-up 2 RBI double for Tyler Eager. As Jared Flax comes around from first. And when you give any team extra at-bats in an inning, and they take advantage of it here. And the Twins lead 4-2, as Kurt said, a walk to start off the inning, 2 errors later. They have a run, guys on first and third now. Jared Flax comes in, hits a single, and then Tyler Eager, a double. And the Broncos find themselves down by 2 in the top of the third with a runner on second and nobody out, as we're going to have a new pitcher coming in for the Broncos. We'll give to you and the next batter, more play-by-play, Dylan Dillard coming up for the Derby Twins. You're listening and watching to El Dorado Broncos baseball here on YouTube.
From Mesa. What's the name?
Back here at McDonald Stadium as the Twins have the Broncos here in the top of the third, putting up a 4 spot. And they lead 4-2 with Dylan Dillard, the batter for the Twins. We'll get you the new Broncos pitcher's name in just a second. And it is number 18, Josh Murphy from Mesa Junior College. Mesa Junior College. 0-1 pitch. Little low. Ball 1 from Murphy. Dylan Dillard grounded out to Morgan Oliver, the shortstop, back in the second inning. Next pitch from Murphy. Little high, 2-1. Tanner Kirk scheduled to bat next. Good pitch from Murphy and evens up the count at 2-2. So I imagine Kurt Murphy is a new incoming player.
Brand new, I guess.
Not on our rosters, and he comes in with a bang with a strikeout to start off his season with the Broncos, and a big one. That'll record the first out of the inning, and Tyler Eager still on second base.
And Dillard, bats fourth. We know he's a good hitter, so that's quite a guy to start off with against Derby here.
Tanner Kirk now up. A good pitch on the inside. 0-1. Kirk singled just last inning. 0-1 pitch in the turf. And 1-1. Thought maybe this last game we had 22-8. In this game it was 2-0. Everything was cruising along, and then the Twins here, a couple errors from the Broncos, and they have put up 4 runs here in the top of the third. Next pitch hit down the left field line, and another long foul ball from the Twins down the left field line.
Yeah, that cleared the fence, and I'll tell you what, I think the Broncos have gone through more baseballs already here in the first 2.5 innings than we've seen them go through in some games. A lot of foul balls out of play, 2 home run fouls, over the fence fouls that way. So time to get a new box of balls or something.
1-2 pitch in the turf, and then Tyler Eager takes third as Schmitz had just hit off his chest protector, and by the time he could get it and throw it over to Hogan at third, it was too late.
He had a good chance at him there, Avery, but he reached down to grab the ball and he dropped it. When he got it again, it was too late. If he would have picked it clean the first time, he might have had a chance at getting Eager.
2-2 from Murphy. Swung on to Morgan Oliver. That'll score a run. And a drop from Brandon Cuddy. It was in his glove. And it just fell on out. And another error from the Broncos, as that'll go against Brandon Cuddy. And it is 5-2 Twins.
We have seen a lot of good El Dorado Bronco baseball. I know, even those 3 losses against Hayes, they were played very solidly in the field. This has probably been the worst half inning of baseball we've seen from the Broncos this season.
For sure. 3 errors as a ball is hit to Cuddy. over to second, and it is high, and Oliver had to jump. And by the time his foot came back down on the bag, Tanner Kirk had ran that in there. And so the Broncos are going to have a meeting at the mound to regroup.
It's another error.
Another error. Error against against Cuddy, so the Broncos really should be out of this inning probably about 10 minutes ago.
4 errors in this inning, Avery. You figure they got 2 outs. Each error, the reason you get an error is because you figure it's going to be an out. So that's 5 outs right now for Derby, and they only have 1 official out in this inning.
That'll bring up Austin Orth, designated hitter. And first pitch from Murphy is high, 1-0.
Avery, as you look at this body of work, the double by Eager was legit, but everything else, an infield single, ground ball, line drives in the infield. I mean, everything's been right there where you want it.
Next pitch, swung on and missed by Austin Orth, and he is the 9th batter of this inning. The Broncos could really use a double play here, and we've seen them before from them many a time this season. Be huge to get one here. One pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. The Broncos, if they could even escape this inning right now down 5-2 after 4 innings, that's not great, obviously, giving up 5 runs in this inning, but you want to get out of this and start fresh as soon as possible. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Schmitz all over that ball, and that'll even the count at 2-2. (5-2) Twins, top of the third, 1 out. Men on first and second. Austin Orth up to bat. He fouls one off right to the Twins dugout. And that'll keep the count at 2-2. Austin Orth back into the right-handed batter's box. He's ready to go against right-handed pitcher Josh Murphy. 2-2 pitch. Little low. 2.
Big pitch here, Avery. 3-2. Already runners at first and second. You'd want to load them up.
3-2 pitch from Murphy. Swung on into the gap. Excuse me, that's going to be to left field. And they're going to be cut off and a run scored by Tanner Kirk as Jacob Spring over in left field came down with that one, tried to, but another run for Derby, and it's 6-2.
Good job cutting off that throw. It was up the line. They weren't going to get Tanner Kirk, who was coming around to score. So try to limit the damage the best you can and try to get out of it. But the Twins have already batted around this inning, Avery.
And the man who started it all, Torrey Bell, who got on via the walk. Murphy gets ahead 0-1. Guys on first and second. 1 out. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and a base hit. Around the base comes Neville. Ball thrown into the infield. It won't be in time. And 7-2 Twins.
Well, and you'd like to say, I guess you cannot give Spring an error, but he bobbled the ball out there. Even when he did throw it in, the runner scoring, Neville, was still just halfway down the way, but the communication, I don't know if Schmitz didn't tell the cut guy to throw it home or what, but if gets in, they probably have a pretty good shot at getting Neville. But as it's gone this inning, really nothing going right for El Dorado, and a 7 spot here already, Avery, and just 1 away.
Ty Reddington. 7-2 Twins. Top of the 3rd. Next pitch. Swung on center field. Sam Lane tracking it down. He'll make the catch. Gets it into Hogan. And first and third is Orth. Tags up from second. But a pretty big out there. For everyone here, we kind of holding our breath as Sam Lane went to go track that ball down just because of the unfortunate events that have happened in this 3rd inning. Can't really afford any more, and good play from Sam Lane there. Made the catch, got it into the infield as quick as he could. First and third, 2 outs. Chase Rader. He'll foul one off the Broncos' top of their dugout.
What I was most worried about there, Avery, was that Reddington was going to hit it into that automatic double, ground rule double. Again, folks, there's a triangle of cones out in left center field where there's just so much water damage. Footing is not good, so any ball hit in that triangle is a ground rule double.
0-1 pitch. Low. 1-1.
Well, I didn't think we were in for a game like last Wednesday, but we very well could be, Avery.
Well, if you remember, the Broncos got off to a 7-1 lead back in that game as Murpha 1-1 pitch. Swung on and a base hit. And I feel like a broken record, another run for the Twins. And Jared Flax, who has 2 singles in this game, and Chad Gerwick heads out to the mound. We very well could see a pitching change. I think we will. So the Twins have put up 8 runs here in the top of the 3rd. They'll look to add more. Guys on first and second, 2 outs. And we'll get a name on this new pitcher coming in for the Broncos. And more baseball here from McDonald Stadium. 8-2 Twins. You're watching and listening to El Dorado Broncos baseball on YouTube.
Coming to the mound for your El Dorado Broncos, number 26 out of Mason Junior College, Garrett Bowman.
Derby Twins lead 8-2 here in El Dorado, as they have put up 8 runs here in the top of the 3rd. All 8 runs being scored by different Twins. The only batter not to score this inning is Dylan Dillard. He struck out, committed the first out of the inning. So, Chase Rader standing on first, Torrey Bell on second, and Jared Flax will take his second at bat of the inning. 8-2 Twins. into the game, Garrett Bowman. New pitcher for the Broncos. First pitch, high, 1-0.
Just has a feel, Avery, almost like roles have been reversed. It's El Dorado this week. Can't get the batters out. The errors this week. Now their third pitcher already. We're still in the top of the third inning.
Next pitch, inside, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Here's a big pitch here from Bowman. And they're going to be tight strike zone here, 3-0. That pitch looked to be right at the knees. Doesn't get the call. 3-0 advantage Flax. Next pitch in there, strike one.
I wasn't so sure their coach, Flax, swinging a good bat. He's moved up to number 2 in the lineup, 2 for 2 here today, 3-0 count, big inning already. I thought he might have the green light there.
3-1 pitch, looking for his pitch now. And it is low, and that'll load him up for the 3-hole hitter and Tyler Eager. And Kurt, probably the last thing Chad Gurrick wanted to happen here was Garrett Bowman come in and put him on for free.
When you bring up Eager, who has the hardest hit ball of this whole inning. And again, Derby has batted around and then some and scored 8 times. And now here he is back up again after a double earlier this inning.
First pitch hits the outside corner, 0-1.
If he went deep, he could have a 6 RBI inning. You don't see that very often.
0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1.
Bowman looks like a big, strong kid out there from Mesa Junior College. Needs to find the strike zone here, 1-1.
1-1 pitch to Tyler Eager. He offered out that one, and I don't think he wanted to, but got fooled by Garrett Bowman. And the Broncos 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. They've already scored 8 and could put more on the board. 1-2 pitch. Swung on down the third base line and foul. Twins 8 runs on 7 hits. One-two pitch. High, 2-2.
Be curious what this does to Bradley Bailey. This inning, I didn't keep track, but it's got to be around 30, 35 minutes long, where it's already almost 10 after 8. And we kind of cruised through the first 2 innings. It's been a long inning. And the starting pitcher for Derby, hopefully he's staying loose because he's been on the bench a long time.
2-2 pitch. And he's going to hit the lower part of the strike zone. And strike 3 as he gets Tyler Eager looking. After 8 runs in the top of the third, the Twins their gloves, the Broncos to grab their bats. And we are headed to the bottom of the third at the end of 2.5. Twins 8, Broncos 2. More play-by-play here of El Dorado Broncos baseball coming up.
Leading off the Broncos this inning, their first baseman, number 19, Brandon Cuddy.
8-2 Derby over El Dorado here as we head into the bottom of the third. But Kurt, these Broncos hitters, I know that was such a long inning. They have to remember, yes, it is 8-2, but you also put up 22 runs against this team last game. So there's still a lot of baseball left here. They'll have to believe in their bats and get back into this game.
And you got to remember, there's no 6-run home run. You just got to chip away, get your base hits, keep playing the game like you do. It's only the bottom of the third inning, even though that inning seemed to take about 6, I think. You just got to keep going up there and get good at bats and work yourself back into it. We've seen El Dorado do it lots of times already this season.
Like you said, they don't have to get an 8-run bottom of the third. Just run here, run there, a couple runs, then another inning, and get yourself right back into this one. 1-0 pitch swung on by Brandon Cuddy.
Well, and 4 errors in that inning, and again, Morgan Oliver dropping a line drive, and Brandon Cuddy just dropping a routine throw to first base first on a sacrifice bunt. Just simple things. I mean, baseball is a simple game, and when you start overdoing or overthinking or trying to maybe do more than just the task at hand, things go awry. And I think everybody tried to make up. I'm going to try to make up for your error, and then I make an error, so my guy's going to try to make up for my error, and it just didn't take care of business.
1-2 pitch from Bradley Bailey. Outside, even up the count at 2-2. And like you said, I don't think those balls those plays would have been as noticeable if one would have happened in the second, one would have happened in the sixth, one happened in the eighth. But since they were back to back and felt some momentum shifting, that's really where the Broncos got into some trouble. Is Brandon Cuddy, base hit.
Avery Cuddy is 7 for 8 against Derby pitching in 2 games.
About to start seeing Derby intentionally put him on. Jonathan Schmitz takes his turn with Brandon Cuddy on first. Schmitz grounded into a fielder's choice back in the first inning. First pitch from Bailey. Across the letters, strike one. Eight-2 Twins, bottom 3. Brandon Cuddy on first. Jonathan Schmitz hits one into the gap. Cuddy's going to stay at second. And the Broncos have first and second, nobody out.
Drive there from Schmitz over the shortstop, Tyner Kirk's head, and now you got Max Hogan coming up, and don't forget there's a guy who homered in his first at-bat for the Broncos, Zach Fields, sitting on deck now. So if Hogan can keep the merry-go-round going here, Fields has a chance to do some damage as well.
Like you said, one hit at a time. That's all you can do. There's no 6-run home run. Max Hogan flied out to right field in the first inning. First and second. First pitch to Hogan. Strike one. Cuddy on second, Schmitz on first. 0-1 pitch. High and inside, 1-1.
They were the top of the third, 8 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, and 3 left for Derby.
Those are the innings no one wants to see. Unless you're the team batting around.
I'm sure Derby didn't mind coming in and getting that. Hogan's work was counting in his favor here. But there's a big pitch here at 2-1. Bailey does not want to go 3-1 and let Hogan sit dead red. So this will be a very interesting pitch here from Bailey, ahead by 6.
2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Bailey. Swung on to first base, And he's just going to touch first as Colin Neville just gets the out. And now Zach Fields, all he did in his first at-bat as a Bronco was hit a home run over the left center field wall.
You wonder, with first base open, how careful Bailey will be with Fields here.
And Jacob Spring in the on-deck circle. Second and third, one out. Zach Fields watches strike one go by.
You know, Zach is so big. There's a twig or something in his hand, the way he just squeezes the splinters out of that bat.
On one pitch. Swung on, fouled off the back screen. That'll make it 0-2, but don't think his home run potential is gone now. It's 0-2 count. That's what it was in the first and the second inning when he belted one over the left center wall. Oh-2 pitch. A little outside, 1-2.
Better job on 0-2 there than the second inning, Avery. That time he went just off the plate. It was a good waste pitch, but he's still ahead at 1-2. He did not do that in the second inning. Hung a curveball that Fields belted.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Fields. So a good job there by Bradley Bailey to get some redemption and a strikeout. Not only some redemption there against Zach Fields, but a big out recorded as there's guys on second and third now with 2 outs, and Jacob Spring, who walked and came around to score in the second inning.
You know, as we get a pitching visit to the mound here, and that's one of those cases, again, where Fields, we don't know him very well yet. It is just as El Dorado, but it looked like there he wanted to make it 8-5, and with one away, guy on third, you want to get that run in. A sac fly, just make some contact. The infield's playing back, scratch in a run. The strikeout really hurts there, and a great job by Bailey to get that strikeout, because now with 2 outs, they can get Spring. If they can get Spring, they get out of this jam with no harm done with runners in second and third.
I think that's where Bradley Bailey took advantage of what he learned back in the second inning, was whenever he got up 0-2, he really gave Fields a pitch he could hit, and that 0-2 pitch was outside, and that 1-2 pitch was probably going to be a ball if Fields would have let it go. And so Bradley Bailey learns from his mistake in the second and strikes out Zach Fields, and that'll bring up Jacob Spring.
Interesting visit to the mound there. You almost imagine the coach is telling Derby's pitcher Bailey, don't let your guard down now because you got Fields out. You still got work to do.
First pitch in there. Strike one.
Some action down in the Derby bullpen right now, Avery. Can't really get the... Looks like Neil Winter is warming up.
0-1 pitch to Spring. Swung on and fouled, and for the second straight at bat, Bradley Bailey is up 0-2. Cuddy standing on third. Jonathan Schmitz on second. As Bailey steps off the mound. Back on the rubber, and he's ready to go. 0-2, 2 outs. Oh, 2 pitch. Swung on right back to Bailey. He'll flip one over to first base. And side retired. At the end of 3, Twins 8, Broncos 2. More El Dorado Broncos baseball coming up here on YouTube.
All right, Broncos fans, you've got some players walking around selling 50-50 tickets. And this is your opportunity to support the Broncos program. Buy 3 tickets for $1 or 10 for $2. We'll draw at the end of the night, and you'll have a chance of winning half the total amount raised. It's a 50-50 drawing. 3 tickets for $1 or 10 for $2. Reach in your pocket, get some money out, wave in the air, those boys will dance on over to you. Take your money and sit and visit with you if you need tickets. 3 tickets for $1 or 10 for $2.
Garrett Bowman back out for the Broncos. He'll take the mound here in the top of the 4th. Due up for the Twins, Dylan Dillard. The only Twin not to score in the 3rd inning. Tanner Kirk and Colin Neville.
Interesting. Dillard, the number 4 man, was the only one who didn't cross the plate there because he was the only one that went down via the strikeout in the 3rd inning, the very long 3rd inning.
So, Bowman throws ball 1. 1-0. Next pitch. Swung on and missed by Dillard. He didn't give his best swing, and he knows it. 1-1.
Avery Greg Hauser goes 2+ innings tonight. Gave up 5 runs on 4 hits, had 1 walk, no strikeouts. We'll give you the numbers on Josh Murphy here in just a second.
1-1 pitch. In there. Strike 2.
Murphy in his debut for the Broncos went just 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 3 runs on 3 hits and did have a strikeout. In fact, the first batter he faced was Dillard, and he struck him out.
And Bowman strikes out Dillard once again in this game. 1 out. The Broncos, I would say, are in need of a quick inning just to get their defenders back into the dugout and sitting down after a 30 or 35-minute inning. It really takes its toll, and that might have had some reasoning for those errors a little later in the inning.
Well, they just seem a little lifeless right now, too. You don't see them hopping in and out of the dugout. At the end of that inning, they weren't racing in, and at the end, when the Broncos got out, didn't see that sprinting out to the positions. They need a little injection of energy or something here.
2-0.
It's only 8-2. I mean, we're in the 4th inning, but the crowd is kind of now back. We haven't heard a lot from the crowd, and everyone seems to be a little down. Avery, we have to do something to pick up these Broncos here.
Well, with Garrett Bowman, 2-1 on this at bat, and it's where you really need someone on the Broncos to step up as a leader and tell the rest of the team this game's not over. His ball hit to Morgan Oliver. He drops it, regroups, throws it over to Cuddy at first, and 2 outs. And that'll bring up Colin Neville. First baseman for the Derby Twins. He had a home run when these two teams met. Was that last Wednesday, Kurt?
Yes, sir. See Dylan Muka and Landon Bush and Jeremy McGowan out here collecting funds for the 50-50. Also, Colt Weiner is out there as they collect money, and they have a 50-50 drawing for each home game, and one lucky fan will win half the pot, and every now and then we'll see that fan donate it right back to the Broncos.
1-1 pitch. A little low, 2-1. As some young kids make their way over to talk to these Broncos in the stands. 2-1 pitch in the turf. 3-1. So Neville has the advantage here in this at bat. Three-one pitch inside. And Colin Neville on with 2 outs. And the designated hitter, Austin Orth, who singled last inning. Eight-two Twins, top 4. First pitch. Ball. And 1-0. The sun is no longer apparent here at McDonald Stadium. The lights are on. 1-0 pitch. Also low. 2-0.
Oh, it seems like in our video there'll be a stretch where it's kind of dark. Just the contrast with the light and the shadows sometimes makes the video a little dark. But then once the sun goes down, I think it's a very good view here on YouTube.
2-1 pitch. Fouled. Back behind the stadium. And 2-1.
There was some good news in Major League Baseball news. One of the teams you like, the Tampa Bay Rays, after getting shut out 3 straight games, they finally scored. In fact, they're leading the Cardinals 4-3 right now in the 7th inning.
Finally crossed the plate.
4 times.
It's incredible. 2-1 pitch. Straight up. And left field. And will be brought down by Jacob Spring. And that'll do it here in the top of the 4th. As the Broncos trail 8-2, but they will bring their bats up here in the bottom of the 3rd, or bottom of the 4th, excuse me. And more El Dorado Broncos baseball coming up here from McDonald Stadium in El Dorado.
Get some money out, split the pot. Raise some money for the Broncos organization, and maybe take one off at the end of the night. Unless, of course, you'd like to donate your winnings back. 3 tickets for $1 or 10 for $2.
Back here at McDonald Stadium is Michael Muka up for the Broncos, and then Morgan Oliver, and then back to the top of the lineup in Sam Lane. But first, Michael Muka, the right fielder. First pitch to him. Upstairs, ball 1. Bradley Bailey still on the hill for the Twins. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled. And some Twins take cover in their dugout as the ball is bouncing towards them. And 1-1. 1-1 pitch. In there, good curveball. 1-2. One-two pitch from from Bailey is outside, and Muka evens up the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch, and he's gonna be called out a high strike, and out number one, and that'll bring up the shortstop Morgan Oliver.
Now the plate, your shortstop, number 10.
And he grounded out to a first baseman back in the second inning. Oliver had a good year in the 9 spot, though, including a home run. Be guessing batting 400 or 500 from that spot. And he will watch strike one.
On the season, Avery, Oliver is average at 346. He had a rough doubleheader here on Sunday, but before that he was right up there near 500, but still 346, pretty good.
Next pitch, he watches it go by. In there for strike two. So advantage Bradley Bailey. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, hit to the shortstop, Tanner Kirk. He has to hurry, and Oliver beats it out. As Kirk got that ball, he kind of lost it in his glove, couldn't get it out.
Yeah, he bobbled it. Kirk bobbled it, and I think it was so routine that he just kind of nonchalantly went after the ball in his glove, and he bobbled it, and Oliver really never – I love that about Morgan. Ground ball to shortstop, didn't trot down there. He sprinted, and he gets on there via the air on Kirk.
And Sam Lane now batting. 1 out, bottom 4. Bailey throws one into the turf, a good stop from Torrey Bell, and 1-0. Sam Lane, who we saw an outstanding catch from back in the first inning to save a run. Pitch, swung on to Kirk again. Toss it over to second, over to first. Not in time. A good scoop from Colin Neville. Made sure that ball didn't get back over to the fence. He knows that that's a long way back until fence. And Sam Lane grounds into a fielder's choice, and he stands on first.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Lane's great speed there, it would have been a double play. But Sam really hustling down the line, and now leaving it for Levi Parker here. Parker can get on. You got Brandon Cuddy waiting on deck.
Lane on first. Delivery. A little low. 1-0. Pitch to Levi Parker. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Swung on to the second baseman. Thrown over to first. And a good play there from Ty Reddington, the second baseman. And that'll leave the Broncos scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th. And at the end of 4, Twins 8, Broncos 2. More El Dorado baseball coming up here on YouTube.
All right, Broncos fans, their money bucket doesn't look very full over there. So it's a good opportunity to buy into the 50-50 drawing. 3 tickets for $1.10 for $2. Help support the Broncos organization and pick up a little money at the end of the night. 3 tickets for $1, 10 for $2. Dig deep in your pockets, grab your wines, get them out, wait for around. The boys will come over to you, ask them where they're from, how they're.
Twins lead 8-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. And we will send it over to Kurt Caden for this 5th inning call.
Broncos trail 8-2. One bad inning where 4 errors, some walks, 5 hits by Derby, and they put 8 runs on the board in the 3rd inning, and that has really been the difference right now. An 8-2 Derby lead. First pitch swinging is Torrey Bell towards right field, and a diving catch made by the right fielder Michael Muka. What a play there by Mike to retire Bell.
It's the second play we've seen. If it was done in a major league ballpark, would probably be on SportsCenter.
How do you explain it, Avery? You got all those errors in this game, yet you have 2 just sparkling defensive plays also from El Dorado. So that'll bring up Ty Reddington in a first pitch fastball inside for ball 1. Reddington got things going really as Bell reached on a walk in the 2nd inning and Reddington went to bunt. He did bunt, but Hauser wheeled and dealed the ball past the first baseman Cuddy into right field, and that seemed to open the floodgates big time for the Broncos. Reddington flew out to center in the 3rd inning. 1 ball and 1 strike pitch is low. It's 2-1. Top of the order, Chase Rader will be next for the Twins. The 2-1 pitch, and that is ball 3. George Hogan wondering if anyone with getting that. So if you are having some issues, let us know. We also have it on here as Reddington singles sharply to left field. We've got it on here, and we aren't having any issues. We didn't change any of the settings or anything. I know the picture at times gets a little blurry, but for the most part, it's, we're trying to put it on low res so that way it doesn't buffer all the time and whatnot. We're not sending out an HD quality signal, so it should be working all right, George. So not sure what is going on there, but yeah, if anyone else is having issues, let us know. And Reddington stealing on the first pitch, and he has it easily. So Reddington gets his way down to second base. Chase Rader, the 3rd baseman, up now. Rader is 1 for 3 today. He flew out to right field, reached on a Morgan Oliver error, and he singled and drove in a run as well as he fouls off the 1-0 pitch. And another, well, we're not getting those fouls like straight back into the net or anything. They are just all being sent into the parking lot. We've seen Derby foul off 2 that had home run distance that went out of the yard but were foul. 8-2 in favor of Derby. And the pitch is, well, I don't know if that hit it. Wow, that bounced off the plate. So a wild pitch will send Reddington down to 3rd base. Garrett Bowman, 6'4", 215, from Roy, Utah. Bats right, throws right. 1 away here in the top half of the 5th inning. 8-2 Derby, and they're looking for more. Reddington's down at 3rd. The 2-1 pitch, waved at and missed by Rader. These Twins lost a heartbreaker to Wellington, who remains undefeated last night, and Derby will go to Wellington tomorrow night before heading to Dodge City for a weekend series. There's the pitch from Bowman, fouled off the ankle. And we'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our Broncos head to Liberal this weekend. And really has to be the featured series just by the start by both teams. Wellington and Hayes both are undefeated going into play tonight. And they will play in a weekend series in Hayes. As Bowman delivers the 2-2 and fouled off again. And we have not seen Wellington yet, but you and I were very impressed with Hayes, with their power, with their pitching, and really just overall very fine squad that we saw here over the weekend.
Yeah, they are. It'll be a good matchup. We haven't seen Wellington yet, but from what we've heard,
another foul ball, and that is Carr. Did that ding a car down there? The crowd's reaction made it sound like it hit some kind of vehicular down there. PA man Bill didn't park down that way, did he? 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch to Rader off speed, and in front of it a pop up a mile high, and calling off Morgan Oliver is Jacob Spring, and now he brings one home, and Reddington unable to score. So the short fly ball unable to score Reddington, and 2 outs in the inning. And a great job there by Spring to call off Oliver. You don't want your shortstop ranging that far out to make a catch. His momentum going away from the plate. And Reddington certainly would have scored then, but with Spring coming in, throw home, Reddington pulled up and went back to third. So now 2 away, and Jared Flax at the dish for the Twins. All Jared has done is gone 2 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run. Already his 4th at bat here in the 5th inning. But Garrett Bowman trying to put a goose egg up there again for Derby, and the 1-1 pitch into the turf, and a nice block by Jonathan Schmitz. Tyler Eager waits on deck. Cuddy, Schmitz, and Hogan will be up for the Broncos in the bottom half of this 5th inning. Flags a right-handed stick, looks at Bowman, and here comes the delivery off speed. It's flipped out to right field, and there's Muka, who will bring it in for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 4.5. And our score is Derby 8, El Dorado 2. More play-by-play in a moment as you watch and listen to exciting El Dorado Bronco baseball. And welcome back to El Dorado. The Twins and the Broncos doing battle. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's an 8-2 lead in favor of the Twins. And Avery, boy, what a different night and day. A week ago, El Dorado had 22 runs on 22 hits, but tonight you got to give Bradley Bailey a lot of credit. He's kept the Bronco hitters off balance a bit. He's worked himself out of jams, which their pitchers weren't able to do last week. He has not been without some trouble spots in this game, but he's worked his way out of it, and he has a 6-run lead.
Well, the Broncos scored in every single inning last time when facing the Twins except for 1. And so far, Bailey has only let the Broncos score in 1 of the 4 innings so far tonight.
Cuddy with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th. No surprise, really, from Brandon Cuddy.
And to add 8 for 9 against the Derby Twins.
3 singles tonight for Cuddy. So here comes Jonathan Schmitz. Going back to the 3rd inning, you might remember Cuddy and Schmitz led off that inning with singles, but then Max Hogan grounded out to first, Zach Fields struck out, and Jacob Spring grounded out to the pitcher, Bradley Bailey. Jonathan Schmitz, the right-handed batter from Tarleton State, and the first pitch is in there for a ball. It looked like it was in there, must have been low. We know Schmitz has home run power, hit 3 home runs in that 1 game earlier this year against Denver. 8-2 for Derby. 2-6-4 for the Broncos. Schmitz, a mighty whack, fouls it, and Neville has a beat on it and will catch it in foul territory. So Schmitz pops out to Colin Neville. And so Max Hogan will come to the plate, and hopefully George is having no more issues, Avery, with his stream tonight.
Hopefully that goes for everybody. If anybody is having any problems or would just like to say where you're listening from, who you're listening for, drop us a comment right underneath this video.
Hogan looks at ball one. Yeah, and unfortunately, as much as we try to act like we are real techie and whatnot, you know, as far as streams going in and out, I don't know. I know very little when it comes to that. We know how to talk.
Touche.
The 1-0 pitch just on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Max Hogan, left-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher, Bradley Bailey. Down at first base is Michael Cuddy. 1 away in the bottom of the 5th, and Hogan looks at strike 2. Hogan has looked a little reluctant tonight to really pull it. I'm not sure if he's not seeing it that well out of Bailey's hand or what, but there's been some pitches that have looked right down the middle that he just has taken. And now he's down on the count, 1-2. See if he can battle back, and he's out in front of a curveball and taps it foul. We know Max is a good hitter. We've seen good signs of him at the plate. You know, not every batter sees the ball out of every pitcher's hands. If that was the case, batters would have a huge advantage. 8-2 Derby. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bradley Bailey with a look at Cuddy, who's got a modest lead over there. And the pitch from Bailey, and another curveball, and Hogan waves at it and misses. Strike 3. So here comes Zach Fields. That was a real slow curveball there, and Max just couldn't time it. So here comes Zach Fields, who got the Broncos on the board and into the lead first in the bottom of the 2nd inning with a leadoff home run. Struck out back in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. 2 away here in the 5th inning. And here's the pitch, and that's a fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Two away here in the bottom of the 5th. Fields and Bailey. Bailey's got his sign. Cuddy down at first. And here's the pitch, and Fields fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Fields from Central Michigan University. Right-handed batter. And here comes Bailey with the pitch, and just low. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. There's our friend Landon Bush there, coming on in there. Well, if it's money, you could give it to me, but Colt Weiner and Landon Bush here as Zach Fields fouls one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Fields at the dish. Fields waits the delivery from Bailey. Cuddy down at first, and Bailey sets and deals. And the pitch on the hands of Zach Fields, he fouls it off. And the bat boy, that's the 2nd time I've seen him slide in for the foul ball. He has good form.
You go feet first?
He went feet first. We don't see the feet first slide that much. That's why we're getting all these hand injuries. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch, and Fields was fooled on the pitch, and Bradley Bailey very quietly is pitching himself a gem here. 5 innings complete from El Dorado, our score. Derby 8, El Dorado 2. We are back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more play-by-play right here as you watch and listen to Bronco Baseball on YouTube.
1-0-0 CWF, CWF, Navy Blue GMC Suburban, This is courtesy of Blackburn Construction. If you come and claim the prize in the Durious Car in the parking lot, you'll get 2 tokens for the car wash, courtesy of Blackburn Construction.
And welcome back to El Dorado, an 8-2 lead for the Derby Twins, as Ryan McKay is going to come in and pitch for the Broncos. And Avery, I know this summer season is short and it's long, if that makes sense. It's only a 2-month season, but they play so many games in such a short amount of time. You can't get too caught up night to night. Winning the first 4 was nice. The Broncos have lost 3 in a row as they try to snap that, and certainly still have time here tonight. But still trying to figure some things out, and only just their 8th game. Again, they've had 3 postponements, which hasn't helped. They haven't played since Sunday. Not making an excuse or anything. It's just they've been a little out of rhythm tonight as we head to the top of the 6th inning, and let's give it back to Avery Ocean.
3-4-5 hole coming up for the Derby Twins, and Tyler Eager, Dylan Dillard, and Tanner Kirk. First up, Tyler Eager, the center fielder. Struck out looking in his last at bat in the 4th inning. His first pitch from new pitcher Ryan McKay. In there, strike 1. 0-1 pitch from McKay. Swung on to center field. Sam Lane doesn't get a good jump on it. His first step was back, which is what the right thing to do, but that ball was tailing down, and it made its way to the ground quickly in a single from Eager. And that'll bring up left fielder Dylan Dillard, who is 0 for 3 tonight. And Kurt, if I'm looking at this right, I'm thinking he might be the only player without a hit. Now, Colin Neville and Dylan Dillard.
They're two of their better players from what we remember last week, at least.
The only 2 batters without a hit, and Dillard will look to change that. He struck out twice in his last 2 at-bats, and he grounded to Morgan Oliver back in the 2nd inning. As McKay throws one over to Cuddy, and Cuddy did a good job catching that ball. Make sure it didn't go past him. And 0-1 it is. McKay back over to first.
Avery, Garrett Bowman did a great job for the Broncos. 2 1/3 innings pitched. Didn't give up a hit. No runs, obviously. Walked 2 and struck out 2, but a pretty good debut for Garrett Bowman.
0-1 pitch from McKay. Swung on to Parker at second. One-handed throw to Oliver. His throw to first, and he's safe. So Dylan Dillard, fielder's choice, as Parker, I think that ball took a bad bounce on him. He ended up having to grab that with one hand. Made an accurate throw over to Oliver, but not in time to get Dylan Dillard over at first, and Tanner Kirk will now step up to the plate.
Yeah, he barehanded that ball. That was certainly the level of difficulty goes up when you field a bouncing ball barehanded like that.
First pitch. Just a bit inside, and ball 1. Top of the 6th inning. Derby 8, El Dorado 2. One-oh pitch to Kirk. Swung on to center field lane. His first step was forward that time, and it goes over his head. Dillard around third. He'll score. Kirk trying to make it a triple, and he is tagged out. at third. So a heads-up play there from the Broncos as they knew they didn't have a chance for Dillard at home, so they got it over to Hogan at third. The throw wasn't to the base at third, so Hogan had to grab it and then run his way over to the third base, but he beat Kirk at third. So 2 outs, but the Twins still get a run.
And that out goes 8-6-5 to record the out, a double for Kirk and an RBI, scoring Dylan Dillard. And the Twins get their lead up to 7.
Colin Neville, the first baseman. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a run scored in the second. As he'll hit one high down the left field line, and it's going to head out of play. That'll leave it up the count at 1-1.
And Avery on the weather watch, some nice line of storms lining up from Liberal to Dodge City, Garden City, up to northwestern Kansas, long ways away from here. But they will be in our area sometime overnight, which this field doesn't need any more water, and I'm afraid it's just what it's going to get. But we will have no problem getting this game in.
And luckily for the Broncos, they do not play any home games here this weekend. Neville fouls one off the left field line. Kurt, I don't know how much more rain this field could have taken. I think one more downpour, even if it would have been tonight, games Friday, Saturday, Sunday probably would not have gone, but we don't have to worry about it because the Broncos are on the road this weekend as McKay throws one outside to make the count full at 3-2.
There was some talk of having this game tonight even played in Augusta, which is about 10 minutes, 12 minutes down the road from here to the south.
3-2 pitch. Swung on and a base hit from Neville. And Austin Orth, the designated hitter, makes his way into the batter's box.
Ryan McKay on the air, Avery, has gone a 1.2 innings and not allowed a run. I haven't seen a lot of Ryan, but he does have a win on the season.
Neville standing at first, about a 2-step lead from him. Not threatening at all. As McKay throws one low, ball 1. And Schmitz would like to talk to him. So he'll make his way out to the mound. Again, the standings here in Jayhawk League. Hayes atop the league, 5-0 in league play, 8-0 overall. Wellington second, 4-0, 10-0 overall. And then the Twins are in third at 3-2 in the league. Liberal tied with El Dorado for fourth at 1-3, and then Dodge City in the basement at 0-6. As Austin Orth fouls 1 and 1-2. Along with Derby being at El Dorado tonight, Liberal is at Hayes. Next pitch. Inside. 2-1.
Avery, if fans out there watching the Broncos or the Twins, it seems like most of the teams in the Jayhawk League have Twitter addresses, and they keep things updated as well. So if you just go on Twitter and follow them, you can find them, you can follow them.
Ball hit to Oliver. He'll make a throw over to Cuddy, and he will tag out Orth on the collision. Good sportsmanship by the Broncos, going to make sure Orth is okay, and a handshake from Orth and Cuddy, and it's good to see.
Well, neither was trying to collide with the other, but Oliver's throw came down the first base line right in the path of Orth. He's just running down the line, and Cuddy really got shaken up there. I think Cuddy may have taken the worst of that, as he was probably the more unsuspecting player there, Avery. Orth saw everything coming kind of in front of him there. But, yeah, I love to see the sportsmanship there. No ill will on either side. Just one of those things that happens in baseball.
Both players going hard. At the end of the top of the 6th, the Twins 9, the Broncos 2. More baseball and a new pitcher coming in for the Derby Twins as we come back here at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado.
Leading off this inning for your El Dorado Broncos, your left fielder out of Coffeyville Community College, number 9, Jacob Spring.
So after the Broncos get 22 runs last Wednesday against the Twins, how about Bradley Bailey only letting up 2 runs in his outing here tonight, and new pitcher Neil Winter into the game to the Twins, and he'll look to repeat the success done by Bailey. But the 7, 8, 9 hole coming up for the Broncos, Spring, Muka, and Oliver in the bottom of the 6th. 9-2 Twins. First pitch of this at bat, swung on and missed by Jacob.
Avery Bailey goes 5 innings, like you said, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, had 4 strikeouts, and all of his strikeouts came in the last 3 innings, and he walked just 1 batter. That walk did come back to score, but Bailey did a great job.
Next pitch, low and outside, 2-0. Or excuse me, it should be 1-1. Spring, 0 for 1 tonight. Had a walk and a run scored back in the 2nd. 1-1 pitch in there. 1-2.
Just kind of a sweeping arm motion there. That ball seemed to start on the inside corner of the plate. Avery finished on the outside corner, and Spring didn't like the call, but it looked like it got the corner from here.
1-2 pitch. Took a little speed off. First baseman tosses it over to Winter, and he drops it. Spring making his way to second. No play there, as that was Neville who tossed the ball over to Winter, and it just got right past him.
They're going to give him a hit and an error, Avery. I think that's an error all the way, but it'll be a hit and an error. Which Spring will take. It'll help his average.
And Michael Muka. Ball 1. Down by 9. You don't have to have, or down by 7, excuse me. You don't have to have a 7-run inning. Just take little chunks of the lead away every inning or so, and you can be right back in this game. Muka fouls one off, 1-1.
When just like that, Derby's guilty of 3 errors. The Broncos have 4, but like you said, all of El Dorado's errors came in a span of about 15 minutes in the same inning, and it just, again, when you spread those out one in an inning, you still don't like 4 errors, but you can deal with that a little bit better than 4 all in one inning.
2-1. Muka watches the ball outside. Spring on second. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 pitch, also low. So hitters count, and Michael Muka 3-1. 9-2. Derby. Left-handed batting Michael Muka. Swings at one on the left field line. It'll be caught by Dillard. And one out. And that'll bring up Morgan Oliver.
Morgan Oliver.
Here with one out in the bottom of the 6th.
I just kind of feel like the Broncos need something positive here offensively. Kind of get the crowd back into this. Decent crowd here tonight, but everyone just kind of sitting back. Derby's really stolen the momentum away from the Bronco faithful here tonight.
First pitch to Oliver, swung on down the left field line. Dillard can't make the play. Off the wall. And a stand-up double for Morgan Oliver. Stand-up RBI double, for Morgan Oliver. And 9-3.
Well, he struck that really well. Didn't get all of it, but Dillard out there and left made a great play like he was going to call it in, but he wasn't anywhere close, Avery. That landed well away from Dillard, but still able to score easily was Jacob Spring, and the Broncos have something going here. There's one. They got that one run back that they gave up in the top of this inning. Now they need to go to work on those other 6 runs.
Sam Lane stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Morgan Oliver on second. First pitch to him, right down the middle, strike one.
Avery, with the Broncos have used 4 pitchers already. They've got someone warming, but keep in mind they didn't play for the last 2 days, and they're off tomorrow. So really, I think it's all hands on deck for this game here tonight.
Oh, 1 pitch to Sam Lane. A little low. Evens up the count at 1-1.
And if anything, maybe getting some doubt in the pitcher Winter's head, who just came in after Bailey pitched 5 strong innings, and maybe they can rattle him up and go to work.
1 out. Man on second. 1-1 pitch. Ooh, just a little high. 2-1.
It had all the plate, that's for sure.
So Lane is ahead at 2-1. Next pitch, swung on and fouled. 2-2.
I was waiting to hear the breaking glass. So that was a high pop, and a lot of cars out here in the parking lot, but I didn't hear it hit anything. That's good.
2-2. Outside. Fills up the count, 3-2.
Good, looked like a sweeping slider. He started on the outside corner, and Lane really had to follow it to the catcher's glove, and the umpire called it a ball.
3-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped to the second baseman, Ty Reddington. He makes a good play to make the second out of the inning and retire Sam Lane.
Now State University, your second baseman, number 2, Levi Parker.
And Levi Parker up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. His last 2 at-bats, he's grounded out to the second baseman. And also in those 2 at-bats, he's recorded the final out of the inning. First pitch, outside, 1-0.
Avery, you might remember Levi had that just beautifully put down bunt in the first inning for a bunt single, where he drag bunt down the first base line and had an easy single.
1-0 pitch. Fouled. Didn't look like Levi wanted to totally commit to that pitch. 1-1.
Looks like Cameron Knight is in the on-deck circle, and Brandon Cuddy, remember he had that collision with Orth. He may be done for the rest of this game.
1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
Which, with no offense to Cameron Knight, but Brandon Cuddy was 8 for 9 against Derby pitching. He's 3 for 3 tonight. But it looks like he might be done for the rest of this game.
Big loss whenever you're looking for runs here for the Broncos. 1-2 pitch. Good stop from Bell, the catcher, as that very well could have scored Oliver if that hits off his glove. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 9-3 Twins. Runner on third. Pitch, foul. 2-2. Morgan Oliver on third. Levi Parker, the batter. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and a base hit for Levi Parker. And the Broncos cut the lead to 5. And so Cameron Knight
Number 7, Cameron Knight.
will step into the batter's box and replace for Brandon Cuddy. With 2 outs, Levi Parker on first. Pitch. Strike. I don't know where that one hit the plate, but 0-1. Two outs, bottom 6. Next pitch, a little low, 1-1.
Well, we hope it's nothing serious for Cuddy. We already reported earlier Clayton Dalrymple is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks for the Broncos, and Cuddy, who just made his debut last Wednesday, has been nothing but on fire at the plate. Now, hopefully not out from any more than just the rest of this game.
Next pitch, outside 2-1, and you know, if you're playing in a regular college baseball season, 6 to 8 weeks, yeah, that's a long time, but it's not nearly as long when you're playing only in a 2-month season. 6 to 8 weeks is about 80 or 90% of your season. 2-1 pitch, swung on by Knight. He's going to foul it off as Levi Parker was on the run to second. That's too bad for Clayton Dalrymple. He'll be missed, not only with his bat, but in the field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Levi Parker on first there in the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-4 Twins as Neil Winter steps off the mound. Gives Levi Parker a stare down over at first. 2-2 pitch from Winter. Swung on and popped up very high in front of the Broncos dugout, and it is caught by Chase Rader. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 6th. The Broncos put up 2 runs, though, and they will look to hold their own here in the top of the 7th as they trail 9-4. More Bronco baseball here coming up from McDonald Stadium.
Now pitching for the Broncos, number 34 out of Carlton State, Wade Adams. leading off the 10th for the Derby Twins, number 12, Tori Bell.
Twins 9, Broncos 4. We head into the top of the 7th here at Brad Long Field in El Dorado. And new pitcher Quade Adams pitching for the Broncos. He is the 5th El Dorado pitcher of the night. But just as Kurt said earlier, with a day off yesterday, a day off tomorrow, no reason not to use as many pitchers as you want. Bell in the box for the Twins, and he watches ball 1.
Kind of get the feeling, too, that Coach Gerwick's still trying to figure out his pitching staff and who fits where, who's got what stuff, who's better against righties or lefties, who's fastball, lots of things to figure out here, and this is a great time to do it. We've seen this before where he'll go reliever by reliever for an inning or two.
1-1 pitch to Tori Bell, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Pitch in there. 1-2. One-two pitch. Grounded down the third base line and foul. Tori Bell did not get to bat in the first or the second inning, but then batted in the third twice, and then the 5th. So it's his 4th at bat of this game. 1-2 pitch, low, and 2-2. This Derby Twins team will head out to Dodge City this weekend. 2-2 pitch. A little high. Evens up, or how about makes it a full count at 3-2. And then Derby will go to Wellington tomorrow night before heading out to Dodge City this weekend. As Bell hits one deep left center field off the top of the wall, but it's within that cone and within the triangle. We'll say the Bermuda Triangle out there. And the Broncos players knew to stop, which they did. And if you were just joining us or joining us a little late, that triangle out there is due to all the heavy rain that this part of Kansas has gotten, and that part of the diamond, or the part of the field, is just, I think, still soaked, and I can actually still see pretty heavy mud out there. So if anyone hits it within that area, it's an automatic double, and that was the first time we'd seen that happen tonight.
It was a bank shot, too, off the wall, high off the wall, almost a home run for Bell. Instead, it's the automatic double.
And Ty Reddington now up.
Important, Avery, I think, for the Broncos psyche. They just scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 9-4, within reach, but you don't want to allow Derby to score 1 or 2 runs back on you again.
0-1 pitch, just a bit inside. 1-1. One pitch from Quade Adams. Low, and it gets past Schmitz, the catcher. And Bell makes his way over to third on the pass ball. Or, excuse me, the wild pitch. Reddington, 1 for 2 tonight. He scored in the 3rd inning, flied out to center field back in the 4th inning, and had a single in the 5th. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and single. A base hit that'll score Bell by Reddington. And 10-4 Twins.
We were a little surprised last week when Derby was here, and you and I saw Ty Reddington play in high school and whatnot, but he walked twice and he struck out looking twice. He just didn't swing the bat at all, and you and I were really perplexed because he's a tremendous athlete. Well, tonight, a sac bunt, a fly out, and then a couple of singles here. That's a big RBI, and gets a run back for the Twins as they lead 10-4, and now an HBP, and things going from bad to worse for the Broncos, Avery.
And like you said, just for the mental state of the Broncos, too, they would have went 1-2-3, or even just not let the Twins score in the top half of the seventh after scoring 2 runs. Would have really helped them out psychologically. But now, first and second, no out.
And saw the umpire race out, Avery. I'm sure you could see that on the video. Quade Adams drilled Chase Rader with a fastball right between the numbers. Sometimes when you see curveballs, I think players can expect or accept, I should say, when a curveball might get you if it doesn't take to the break. But it's usually curveballs are thrown with a lot less velocity. But when the guys, even of this talent level, throw a fastball right between the numbers, it sends a little more of a message. So hopefully it's just one of those things, and we don't have any retaliation or anything like that. Right now, Quade Adams is digging a little bit of a hole now with 2 runners on.
I hope that HBP didn't mean anything more, simply because these teams have to match up 6 more times this season, as Jared Flax fouls one down the right field line. Oh, 1 pitch to Jared Flax. First and second, no out. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and strike 2. So Adams ahead of this batter at 0-2, 11-4. 10-4, sorry. Scoreboard's not right here, McDonald Stadium. It has Quade Adams, perfect curveball, not curve up. How about a curveball? And the first out of this top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Tyler Eager. He had a single last inning. First pitch from Adams outside, 1-0.
Adams came into this game, Avery, throwing just 3 innings so far this year, as many of the relievers have. They've thrown limited numbers, as I mentioned, a lot of 1-inning appearances, but a 6.0 ERA, which is a little hard to, with just 3 innings of a body of work, not a whole lot to go off of there.
1-0 pitch in there, strike 1. One pitch, 1 out, 2 guys on first and second here in the top of the 7th. Adams really worried about Ty Reddington on second.
Reddington kept on getting a little bigger lead and a little bigger lead, and Adams figured, I better step off, or otherwise he's going to have third stolen easily.
So he goes to the plate here, low. 2-1. Remember, you can send us comments right under this video. Tell us who you're listening for, what player, where you're from. We'd love to hear it. 2-1 pitch. Hits the outside corner in 2-2.
Tell you what, after hitting Rader in the back and putting runners on first and second with no out, Adams seems to have gone into a different gear here. It was dominant against Jared Flax, and now he's got a 2-2 count here against a good hitter in Tyler Eager.
1 out. 2-2 pitch. Just misses the plate. That'll fill it up at 3-2. Rader on first, Reddington on second. Both runners going. Hogan with the play at third. Over to Knight at first for 2 outs. There's a good concentration there from Max Hogan as Reddington was charging right in front of him, as Hogan had to kind of avoid him just a little bit, get the ball, and make a good throw over to Knight, which he did in 2 outs. And Dylan Diller, the only Twin without a hit tonight. He has a chance to bring in 2 with a base hit here.
But he has scored a run. They've all scored. Every player on Derby has scored 1 run. Bell is the only Twin who has scored twice. But it's kind of interesting that it's not 1 or 2 or 3 guys dominating. They're all contributing whatever they can.
Second and third, 2 outs, top 7. First pitch. A little high and inside. 1-0. Pitch from Adams. Swung on down the third base line. And foul.
Maybe this is the second time in a week that Derby has been here. El Dorado's first trip to Derby won't be until July 3rd, but then they'll also play at Derby on July 8th, July 10th, and July 22nd. So a lot of games coming up in Derby for El Dorado in July. Derby will still have 2 more trips here to El Dorado.
1-1 pitch. And Dillard accidentally went, and 1-2. It's interesting. Broncos still haven't played a road game.
They've had 3 scheduled.
1-2 pitch from Adams. Low, 2-2.
I misspoke. Actually, Derby comes here just 1 more time on Sunday night, July the 6th. Derby will be here. So July 3rd, July 6th, July 8th, and July 10th. 4 games with El Dorado and Derby in about a week. In a week, exactly a week.
2-2 pitch, swung on. Sam Lane under it, makes the play. And that does the top of the 7th. The Twins put up 1 run and lead by 6. Stretch time here at McDonald Stadium. Broncos trail by 6. Look to cut into that here in the bottom of the 7th as Bronco baseball continues here on YouTube.
And leading up this inning for your Dorado Broncos out of Tarleton State University, your catcher, number 24, Jonathan Schmitz.
And Jonathan Schmitz up to the plate for the Broncos. Neil Winter, I believe, back out for Derby. 10-4 Twins. First pitch to Smith. Swung on to left field. Play made by Tanner Kirk. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now at the plate, playing out of Atlantis, is your third baseman, number 16, Max Hogan.
Third baseman Max Hogan, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the fifth, grounded out to first base in the third, and lined out to right field in the first. His first pitch swung on to center field, and play is made by Tyler Eager. 2 pitches, 2 down. And Zach Fields, who had a home run in his first at-bat here in the Broncos tonight. The Broncos, you wouldn't know it, but they jumped out to a 2-0 lead in this game before the Twins put up 8 in the top of the third. The 2 times the Broncos have scored this game, the Twins have responded with at least 1 run of their own, if not 8. 1-0 pitch downstairs. 2-0 to Fields. Two-0 pitch. Swung on down the left field line. A line drive. It's going to fall into the Broncos bullpen and strike 1. Two-one pitch, 2 outs, bottom 7. Swung on and chopped foul. You don't see it very often nowadays, but Zach Fields and Colin Neville of the Derby Twins, I think about every game wear their socks up high. And generally, the only time you see that nowadays is when a hitter's in a slump, trying to change it up. 2-2 pitch, swung on and miss from Zach Fields. And he has been struck out 3 times in this game as the Broncos trail 10-4 against the Derby Twins. And the top of the 8th coming up as you continue watching Broncos baseball from McDonald Stadium here on YouTube.
Seven, 9, 3, 6, 4, 2.
7, 9, 3, 6, 4, 2. Yeah, that's it. Right out up here, now you get $40. Betty Ingram from Atlanta, Kansas, is our winner tonight. Let's hear it for Betty. Now pitching for your Dorado Broncos out of Butler Community College.
Derby Twins lead here 10-4 as the Twins will be coming up to bat here in the top of the 8th to tell us who this new pitcher is and more for the 8th and the 9th inning. Kurt Caden.
Trevor Azell, who we're used to seeing down at third base, but he is, as I looked at the roster, Avery, he is listed as a pitcher as well. And Azell is from Elgin, Oklahoma. He plays his college ball right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. So might have been in the plan that maybe he was going to get an inning tonight, and Max Hogan down at third base. So Trevor Azell still has played, is one of just a couple of players that has played in every game so far. And again, El Dorado, this is their 8th game of the year, and all of them on this field. The 3 scheduled road games have all been, and they've all been, there was no umpires. The other 2 actually wasn't raining the day of the game or the night of. It was from previous rain that had made the field too wet. 1 inning for Quade Adams. Gave up a couple of hits, hit a batter, struck out 1, and he allowed a run. 10-4 Derby as we are in the top of inning number 8. And Azell slings it from the side, and it's in there for a strike. Strike one. He'll see Kirk, Neville, and Orth. 5, 6, 7 for the Twins. There's the second pitch. And Kirk fouls it on to foul territory. Jonathan Schmidt goes a long way and makes the catch for out number one. Great job by Schmitz there, as he took control and ran it down. Not an easy play there for the catcher, Jonathan Schmidt. So that'll bring up Colin Neville. Neville grounded out to Hauser in the second inning. Hit into a fielder's choice and scored in the very long third inning. Walked in the fourth. Singled in the sixth. So officially 1 for 3. And he looks at strike one from Trevor Ezell. No balls and a strike. Ezell slings one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 10-4 in favor of the Twins. The 8-run third inning. Clearly the backbreaker to this point for the Broncos, but they still have 2 innings to go to see what they can do against the Twins. The 1-1 pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like the youth baseball must be over for the night. A lot of folks, a lot of headlights shining as we look down the first base line down in the parking lot. Little League fans or whatever leaving as Ezell fields his position nicely. Neville grounds on right to him, and the second out is recorded. 2 away, and here comes the designated hitter, Austin Orth. Orth 1 for 4 on the night. He was robbed back in the second inning. Sam Lane made an absolute spectacular catch out in center field. Orth came back and drove in a run with a single in the third inning and scored later on. Flew out to left and grounded out to Morgan Oliver over at shortstop. So 2 away in the 8th inning. And Zell's first pitch is just a bit outside for ball 1. The Broncos will bring 7, 8, 9 to the plate in the bottom of this inning. Spring, Muka, and Oliver. The 1-0 pitch from Ezell outside corner. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast on YouTube. We love bringing you all these games, the home games. Again, there's going to be a stretch here where we're not going to be able to broadcast, but I am pretty sure El Dorado goes to Liberal this weekend, and that Liberal broadcasts their games. So if I can find the link, Avery and I will do a little investigating over the weekend or before the weekend so we can get that link posted on the El Dorado Bronco website and on the Twitter page. Austin Orth, now there was one of those, unlike when Chase Rader got drilled with a fastball right in the back, that was a curveball from Ezell, and right away he's looking at his fingers. He didn't get the right, dig into the ball, and the ball never curved, and it hit Orth in the back, but it certainly had way less velocity than the one that plunked Rader. Ezell back to the fastball and outside, ball 1. So Orth down at first base. Torrey Bell, the catcher, up, man. Torrey's had a nice night. Really good behind the plate. Ezell over to Cameron Knight at first base. Back is Orth. Bell walked and scored in the third. Singled in a run, also in the third. Flew out to right field and doubled and scored in the 7th inning. And his double, you might remember, was in that triangle out there in left center field that is kind of the unplayable area and is an automatic ground rule double if you can get one in the triangle. Well, Bell got one in there, but not the way he was probably thinking. He ricocheted one high off the left center field wall. He was just inches away from a home run. 10-4, Derby, top of the 8th inning. 2 balls and no strikes to catcher Torrey Bell. Ty Reddington would be next for the Twins. Bell, right-handed batter, plays his college ball at Emporia State as he flares one into the Derby Twin bullpen area. Bell, 6 foot, 195. He's from Wichita and plays at Emporia State along with Levi Parker for the Broncos. Azell on the hill. And Azell's pitch in there for a swing strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Azell quickly on the mound and looking in. Torrey Bell gets his helmet adjusted, and now he's ready. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 out. Azell winds and deals, and the pitch is low, ball 3. Azell is the 6th pitcher used by El Dorado tonight. Greg Hauser went 2 innings. Josh Murphy went 2/3 of an inning. Garrett Bowman 2 1/3 innings. Ryan McKay 1 inning. Quade Adams 1 inning. And now Azell has gone 2/3, looking for the complete inning if he can get Bell, who swings and fouls off the 3-2 pitch. Hauser was tonight's starter and really wasn't. He was just a victim of that. He happened to be the pitcher on the hill during that catastrophe of an inning in the 3rd. Hauser got the Twins in order thanks to a double play in the 1st inning. Bell fouls off the 3-2. In the 2nd inning, just a Tanner Kirk single, but no damage done as we were 0-0 after an inning and a half. Then El Dorado scored 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. But the 3rd inning is what really was the downfall for Hauser and the Broncos to this point. 3-2 pitch from Trevor Azell. And on the fist and fouled off. And the Derby coach and Max Hogan, bad communication. They were both in position to make the play, but didn't know who was going to take it, and it went right between the 2 of them. So we'll give an error to Hogan and an error to the Derby coach. Jokingly, of course. Ball is run down by one of the Bronco players in the dugout. Here we go again. Full count. Runner on the move, and Bell drills one to right field. Muka going back towards the wall on the track, and it went in and out of his glove. Muka fires it into Parker, and we've got runners at 1st and 3rd. Probably going to be a hit, but that was a tough play out in the outfield for Muka. So an error is given. He did get his glove on it, but boy, oh boy, he was back on the track there, Avery. That's a tough error.
Well, if you couldn't see it at home very well, his back was to the infield. He was running towards the wall, so along with having to try to catch the ball, he was trying to avoid the fence.
So Ty Reddington grounds one to Oliver at short. Morgan fires over to first. Cameron Knight with a good pick, and that will end the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left. And we're through 7 1/2. Twins lead 10-4. Stay tuned. The bottom of the 8th inning is coming up next here on YouTube.
And leading off this inning for El Dorado Broncos, And Coffeyville Community College.
And welcome back to El Dorado, Kansas. Kurt Caden along with Avery Olsen with Bronco baseball tonight from McDonald Stadium. And a new pitcher in for Derby. It is Tanner Rayburn, 5'10", 200-pound lefty from Wichita, plays his college ball at Hutchinson Community College. So 2 innings from Neil Winter. Winter was just kind of so-so in the 6th inning, but fabulous in the 7th inning. He had no problem going through the Broncos 1-2-3. It was that 6th inning where he gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. But he gives way here to Rayburn and a 10-4 twin lead. Rayburn winds and deals inside, ball 2. Jacob Spring, Michael Muka, Morgan Oliver for the Broncos. Jacob Spring coming into this game, batting 182. And the pitch, driven to left field, and a sliding catch by Dylan Dillon. And, you know, Spring has put some good swings on the ball, Avery, this year. And right now he's in one of those funks where even when he makes great contact, a great play is made, and Dillard timed it nicely and made a nice sliding catch. But sometimes when you're struggling at the plate, those things, that's what happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, see that more than you don't. When a guy's struggling, like you said, and hits the ball hard, but somehow just can't not find a fielder.
And someone who's on a roll will hit little flares or whatnot that always seem to find their way into the grass. So it's Michael Muka at the plate, and he looked at strike 1, swings at strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Now, Dylan Muka, we saw him playing that doubleheader against Hayes here Sunday. Haven't seen Dylan tonight, but Michael getting the start again. Dalrymple out for the better part of the season now with a finger injury. No balls and 2 strikes. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the injury bug, every team gets it from time to time. Unfortunately for the Broncos, it's hit here early. We've seen Lane get injured, miss a game. Morgan Oliver was hobbled, but he didn't miss any time. Dalrymple, though, is going to miss a lot of time, and we don't know about Brandon Cuddy. He was 3 for 3 when he and Austin Orth collided, Avery, so it's hard to say. Hopefully it's just a preventative thing bringing him out, but sometimes when first baseman gets their arm extended and they run in and they make contact with the runner, sometimes that can be a shoulder separation or injuries of that nature. So we hope everything's okay with Brandon. The count evened up at 2-2 here for Michael Muka. Tanner Rayburn on the hill, lefty on lefty matchup here. And Rayburn waits for the pitch, curveball, and he smacked it pretty good into center field. Going back is Eager, and that ball is caught at the track. What a play by Eager. I kind of lost it up there in the night sky, Avery, but Eager didn't, and that was what was important for Derby. And a great catch there by Tyler.
So that's just one of many great catches we've seen in the outfield tonight. Sam Lane had a great catch back in the first inning. Flax has had some balls in right field. Even Muka's play that he dropped, although it'll look like just error, it was a good try by him. So I've seen some good effort from the outfielders tonight.
Morgan Oliver at the dish. He'll ground one down to third base, fielded by Rader, and thrown over to first base. And that is the end of the 8th. And the Broncos go down quietly, 1-2-3. 8 complete from El Dorado. Our score, Derby 10, Broncos 4. The 9th inning is next. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube.
Expert play-by-play, guys. You're going to play-by-play online. It's free access. Go to www.youtube.com, search for Kurt Caden, and It's Kurt Caden with 2 C's, C-U-R-T-C-A-D-E-N, and subscribe to his channel for free. We will always post a link on the El Dorado Bronco Facebook page, and the games are also archived, so you can go back and watch any Broncos home games. Again, that's Kurt Caden with 2 C's on YouTube.com. Subscribe to his channel for play-by-play for all of the Broncos home games.
And we're ready for inning number 9. Broncos trail 10-4, and it's just been kind of one of those nights, Avery. It just doesn't feel like, with all the years and the Broncos giving up an 8 spot back in the 3rd inning, they just haven't really been able to get on a roll. They've lost Brandon Cuddy for the rest of this game. Numerous pitchers have been used by El Dorado. It's just a night and day from what we saw last week.
Yeah, it is. We just, like you said, we really haven't seen the Broncos come back with that really good inning offensively yet. They got 2 runs back in the bottom of the 6th, but nothing too threatening from the Broncos offense.
They have gone quietly 1, 2, 3 in the 5th, 7th, and 8th innings, and that's just when you're hoping to make a comeback, that's not going to do it. They had a good chance back in the 3rd after Derby scored those 8 runs. They came back and got their first 2 men on base, but I'm not sure if the 8 runs in that inning hurt more or getting your first 2 on in the 3rd inning and scoring nothing. It just seemed like all the air kind of went out of the balloon here, and the crowd is thinned out, and it's a beautiful night for baseball, but right now the Twins are the one enjoying it. Trevor Azell, a 1-2 pitch to Chase Rader, is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Personally, I haven't really felt a whole lot of energy from the crowd tonight. It just isn't there.
10-4 Derby. And Azell, 2-2 pitch. Boy, he really slings it. I don't know if you could describe it any other way. I mean, it seems like he's wheeling and dealing on the mound. Next thing you know, Jonathan Schmitz is catching it somewhere around the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That is a laser coming in. And here's a pitch hit to center field, and Sam Lane's got it for the first out of the inning. Jared Flax comes up. Flax singled his first 2 at-bats, then walked, flew out to Muka in right field, and struck out looking in the 7th. So a 2 for 4 night so far for Jared Flax with a run scored. Tyler Eager will be next for Derby. Azell wheels and deals, and way behind there was Flax. I like this Jared Flax. He's a fun player to watch. He plays the game the right way. He is from Fort Collins, Colorado. Plays his ball at Newman University in Wichita. And he fouls off the second pitch, so no balls and 2 strikes. Yahoo for the Royals today, Avery. A good win over Cleveland. They sweep the 2-game series.
And the White Sox beating the Tigers right now 8-2. So
pitch to hit into right center field. There's no one there. And Muka fields it, fires it in. Good throw, and Flax beat it out. But that was a tremendous throw by Muka, but a sliding double for Jared Flax. The Royals, so if the White Sox hang on,
the White Sox are 6 outs away from their win. If they win, the Royals are 2 games back in the AL Central. Words I did not know that I would say the rest of the season after getting down in the division, I think 8 games at one point. But I'm happy to say it.
First pitch swinging is Eager, and it's right at Sam Lane in center field for the second out.
Sam Lane been very busy in this inning. Caught the first out, just had to back up Muka, the last batter, and then just now another catch out in center field.
And here comes Dylan Dillard. He is the only Twin without a hit here tonight. And speaking of Sam Lane, Dylan Dillard flew out to Sam Lane in his last at-bat back in the 7th inning. Dillard grounded out to Morgan Oliver at short in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd and the 4th, hit into a fielder's choice and scored in the 6th, and flew out to Sam Lane in the 7th. And 0 for 4 so far for Dillard. The 1-0 pitch just inside. So he had to kind of scoot his legs back, got straightened up there at the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the order coming up for the Broncos in the bottom of the ninth inning. We have seen them come from behind before in the bottom of the ninth. Azell fires and deals a strike. Tanner Kirk would be next for the Twins. 2 balls and a strike. 10, 13, and 3 for Derby. 4, 9, and 5 for El Dorado. And the pitch drilled to center field. There's Sam Lane going back. Now he's got a beat on it just in front of the track, and Sam Lane records all 3 outs in the ninth inning. Now the Broncos need to go to work. Top of the order is due up. It's Derby 10, El Dorado 4. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning from El Dorado.
All right, Broncos fans leading off that bottom of the ninth inning. Out of the University of Texas, Tyler, your center fielder, number 6, Sam Lane.
So the Broncos will bring up 1, 2, and 3 here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Sam Lane right now with an 0 for 4 night. Flew out to right, reached on an error from Tanner Kirk. Hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out to second base. Lane will lead it off. The Broncos need a big bottom of the ninth inning against Tanner Rayburn, and Lane leads it off with a base hit out to right field. Sharply struck by Sam Lane.
I think more than even earlier what we were saying is, there was no six-run home run. There still isn't, never will be. And that's really why you just want to keep getting base hits and really putting pressure on this pitcher. And like we said earlier, don't go for it all in one at-bat. Just do your part.
Levi Parker wears one on the shoulder, and so that'll put 2 on with no out. And again, the umpire racing out there. Certainly Rayburn doesn't want to plunk anyone here and start anything. That was a curveball that didn't take, so now Cameron Knight coming up. He replaced Brandon Cuddy in the 6th inning, and Knight's only at bat. He popped out to third base. Knight, and then it'll be Schmitz and Hogan. And if you can keep the bus going here, as another famous broadcaster says, Zach Fields, who has struck out 3 times, but he also has homered. He's been feast or famine tonight. So we'll see if the Broncos can keep it going, and Knight was late on a fastball. Strike 1. Cameron Knight from Oklahoma City plays his college ball right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. No balls and a strike from Rayburn, who plays up at Hutchinson. And Knight hit one up the middle, 4-6-3, double play. And that dims that little bit of a fire that the Broncos had there. Every little excitement we had, and now Schmitz will have to keep it going. Now you need a big 2-out rally here with Sam Lane over at third base.
Yeah, that's a dagger right there. Has first and second, nobody out. 4-6-3 double play. And now they're going to really need to put on their rally caps.
Jonathan Schmitz at the plate. Yeah, you're thinking, if Knight can somehow find a way to get on a base hit, walk, get the bases loaded, and then you start bringing up Schmitz, Hogan, and Fields, you like your chances, maybe a big inning. But the 4-6-3 is what the Derby fans were hoping for, and they got it. Schmitz, a check swing, but he went. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the next time these teams will meet won't be until it'll be June 18th, next Wednesday, in Derby. 10-4 Twins. Rayburn looking to close it out here for the Derby Twins. The pitch. Schmitz grounds it over to Reddington at second base, takes it on the short hop over to first base, and retires the side and the game.
Final score, Derby Twins 10, Broncos 4. Be sure to come back out next Thursday night.
10-4 is the final score here tonight. And, Avery, as much as we tried, well, you just want to stay away from it, but that 8-run inning, again, the way that inning started, a walk to Bell, then an error on a sacrifice bunt from Reddington. So you're really looking at, there should have been a guy on second with 1 out. Then a line drive right at Morgan Oliver with 2 men on. He takes his eye off it. It glances off there. Now you got trouble brewing. And then eventually an error on Cuddy, who dropped the ball at first base. I mean, it was just a nightmare of an inning. And El Dorado never could recover. And you figure 8 of Derby's 10 runs came right there in that inning. And overall, not a bad effort from Derby or from El Dorado, but one just horrible inning cost him a game here tonight.
Yeah, it did. Like we were saying earlier, all those errors just back to back, and that's what hurt the Broncos tonight in this loss.
So the winning pitcher, Bradley Bailey, can't say enough about him. He was really good for the Twins. You talk about the errors and what El Dorado did. Well, Bradley Bailey deserves credit as well.
For sure. After giving up 22 runs last game, to only give up 2 in his, five innings pitched. Job well done to him.
So Bailey gets the win. Greg Hauser will get the loss. There was no save. 10 runs, 13 hits, and 3 errors for Derby. 4 runs, 10 hits, 5 errors for El Dorado. Time of the game was 3 hours and 1 minute. Our next broadcast will be a week from tomorrow night when El Dorado will host Wellington. Hope you have a great rest of the week. We'll try to keep you posted on where the Broncos can be seen and heard on the El Dorado Bronco Baseball Facebook page. For Avery Osen, I'm Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.